boys in Class 1.
Hello, and welcome to the Saladcast on Sunday, the 10th of May, 2026. I'm your host, Dan Train. Joining me today is Zachary Burgess.
It's time.
And Robert Kemp.
Whoa! We're going to IKEA.
Okay, that was what you took from that, was it? Not any of the other various quotes you can pull from It's Time.
It's time. Like, I don't even know what song that is. I think it's an Overseer song that I'm thinking of, like, because it says it's time a lot. It's time.
Is the old Vega Boys going to IKEA? They're not going to the Balearic Islands or anything like that.
They're having a staycation this year, and they're going shopping.
They're having a staycation in an IKEA.
Yeah.
In a giant Swedish furniture shop.
Yeah, I mean, they could have taken a trip to Sweden instead, I suppose, but they thought the nearest thing was IKEA.
I bet if you went to Sweden and you went to IKEA, it would be identical to it, isn't it?
Well, theoretically.
Would they sell Swedish meatballs in a Swedish IKEA? Would they like?
They'd probably be actually good.
Oh, I mean, what you'd say?
Like they'd be different.
IKEA, right?
Anyway,
IKEA meatballs are great. I love an IKEA meatball.
I still haven't been because IKEA opened on Oxford Street, like literally Oxford Circus,
right,
where the old Top Shop was. And I presume they sell meatballs. That's the main thing I want.
I assume that's just like a showroom rather than like you have to get most things delivered.
They seem to have changed their model because it used to be that they almost deliberately had terrible delivery service, so that to make you come and use your own car to transport things. But they seem to have pivoted to the point where their delivery is actually good now, so you can just check out the showroom.
So it turns out I have a 50% success rate with IKEA's delivery service. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's unfair. It's probably nearer 66% because I've used it in various forms now. But so we bought a wardrobe. What was that noise?
It was my phone dinging. It's probably means I'm about to have a hilarious email from
from fake Zachary Burgess.
Yes. No, it was just my just phone things, not actually my email this time.
The previous so we've done the thing where we've had a big delivery delivered here before, and that was absolutely fine. The other form of delivery I've done is I've had it delivered to, like, they will just turn up in a van in a car park of your choice. That's like a common thing. They'll just a van will hang out in like a designated spot, and one of them is Tesco's in Bury St Edmunds, and you just go up to this random van and go like, "You got my stuff, mate. You got my stuff,"
and transfer it to your car.
Transfer it to your car and take it home. Yeah, which is
super weird.
Marginally cheaper. Yeah, I've done that once before. That felt sketch as hell. So I'm not doing that again. Especially as like IKEA vans are not like branded in any way. They're just like a white ass van.
Well, probably because they are like contractors or whatever. There's probably not actually.
Probably. But yeah, this one that turned up this week, we've just discovered there was a bit of damage to one of the large bits of wood in a visible place. So it's that which we're gonna have to try and deal with that, which is gonna be a pain in the ass, right? Because it's like they charge you for delivery, and it's like it's not like I can. This thing is probably a bit too big to put in my car to take an hour away to the nearest IKEA. So yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a ball ache to sort.
What are you getting?
New wardrobe. We finally decided to sort out. The room you sleep in when you come and visit. Let's put it that way. Room 4.
That probably needs a little sorting out.
Yeah.
You've gradually, over the years, I was saying, I was visiting my friend in Cardiff last week, and I was like, this is the list of things that every hotel room in the entire world has, and you've just about reached the point where you've got like the bedside lamp and the place to plug in and charge your phone. And the bed.
And a bed, yeah. A pretty big bed. Comfy bed. And smart lighting.
But the bedside light is now kind of broken, and it's so, like, kind of flimsy, it feels like I'm going to electrocute myself if I try and fix it, so I just leave it alone and don't use it.
Was it broken?
Yeah, I can't get it to work.
Oh, okay. Well, they're touch lamps, those.
I know.
The two we had, so
yeah.
Maybe.
Even more feels like you're going to electrocute yourself.
Yeah, I think
exactly.
I think there were touch lamps that also had a switch somewhere, so maybe the switch got effed up or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was too afraid to try and fix it because I felt like I was going to get electrocuted.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, those have been replaced. You'll be pleased to know. So there's new lamps that are on the smart system. So you can push the on button on my on the Philips dimmer switch, and if you push the on button once, it just turns on the main light. Push it twice, then your bedside lamps come on. Push it a third time, and then it's just the bedside lamps, not the overhead.
Very nice.
So and then,
See, this
and then
is
push
what
it,
we need.
and then push again to start the cycle again. Unfortunately, I couldn't rig that. Unfortunately, I couldn't rig that up in the proper way because I bought IKEA smart plugs, right? And they are they use Matter as their connection protocol, right? But my Hue hub is only a version 2 Hue hub, so it doesn't support Matter. Seemingly,
Do they support it now?
I think the newer hubs do, yeah. So there was a bit of a problem there. Oh, my leg is cramping. That's sorry.
That's definitely a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. But yeah, so I had to do some really awkward rigging through smart things to get it to function. So next time you're here, and you want to do the various lighting arrangements, wait for them to change before you make the next choice, because you can't just tap it 3 times and get to the thing you want. I've got some ideas about how I could improve that potentially, but for now it's like, because it's all precondition based, right? The lights have to be in this state for the next press in order to to pick up what it should move to.
Awkward.
Yeah. Whereas I could probably fudge with smart things a bit to make a fake counter or something that so you can just multi-tap it and it'll because updating the counter should be quicker than it telling the devices to change. You know what I mean? Anyway, smart. Yeah. Anyway, IKEA now do some pretty cheap, pretty good smart home stuff. As it turns out, those smart plugs are dirt cheap and they work pretty good.
Nice.
Kudos to them for that.
Sweet. I do need. That's the one thing I need though is like a single socket that doesn't have something plugged into it, so that I can plug in my phone charger or whatever. That's all. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't got a USB solution in there yet.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be USB. Yeah, just a standard plug that I can plug in without having to unplug half of your stuff.
There may end up being a solution to that. I'll figure that out.
Amazing.
So we got the problem. The problem is this wardrobe, like there's clearly a dent in one of the boxes if it was for one of the panels that was going to be hidden like in a place we didn't see, it would have been fine. But unfortunately, it's on a flipping door. So like right at the front, super visible, bit of damage. So yeah, that's gonna have to get sorted. So yeah, I've had a 2/3 success rate with IKEA delivery.
Right. Yeah. I just remember years ago in my Cambridge flat, I ordered stuff and they forgot to deliver the big cushion that I'd ordered. And then, so I think I must have called them or something. And then they drove by and like threw it to me as they drove by.
Oh, wow.
Because it was just a cushion.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, it was really funny.
I kind of love that. If it was just a cushion and it wasn't a rainy day, that's kind of funny.
No, it wasn't, yeah. But that was the standard of IKEA delivery at the time.
Yeah.
2000 and whenever that was.
Yeah, so my last 2 weekends have had a lot of IKEA in them. Let's put it that way.
A classic weekend.
Yeah, classic. So it's a holiday.
Yeah,
do
what
you know
else is
they
there
have,
to do?
Do you know they have like 1 hour of free childcare now?
Do they?
So you can go to the one at Thurrock, and there's literally a day, like a properly what's the word? Certified, attributed. Anyway, like it's all above board, like daycare center. That you can just leave your child there for an hour. Only 1 hour, admittedly, but like still, it's something. It gave us enough time to go and have a proper think about the wardrobe and sort all that out.
What happens if you go over the hour limit and they just like kick the child out into the store?
No, you get one of those like restaurant buzzers,
right?
Right, to
they call you back.
Yeah, like so you get this. They give you this like big old plastic slab that will start vibrating in your pocket, like when your time's nearly up. That apparently works anywhere in the massive ass store. So there you go. Anyway, that was kind of fun. Other than the door, we only cocked up 2 other bits of the order.
Only 2.
Although that was us. That's our fault. Like that was us getting the wrong stuff, because sometimes it's hard to tell, right, at IKEA, because it's all like by the time you get to the warehouse or you're trying to find stuff, it's all in boxes, right? And then it's not always clear exactly what variant of a thing you're getting. So we messed up one of those in that way, and the other one was a measurement thing. So that's on us. That's fine. We'll find a way to sort those out. Those weren't delivered. We brought those back with us because they were small. They were fine. I will give the delivery man some credit, though, because, like, who knows where in the chain the damage happened, right? And would they care? But, boy, those guys are beef.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what they do all day, right?
Yeah, exactly. But, they're lifting boxes that are clearly labelled 2 men required by themselves.
Well, that just sounds more like a health and safety violation than a good idea. It sounds like someone's going to get sued.
That's like the first thing in the IKEA instructions is the big, like, one cartoon person lifting it and a big cross through it, and then, like, 2 people and a big thumbs up.
But I guess usually at that point you had to have got to the instruction manual.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
have to open the box to find out that you weren't meant to pick it up by yourself.
If you do that.
That's why my back hurts. So that's been all of today as well, was building this wardrobe. But we've put 2 of the doors on, the 2 good doors, but there's a third that's missing. But that's fine. It can live like that for a bit until we sort it out.
Are you feeling the IKEA effect or whatever it is?
What is the IKEA effect?
I can't remember if that's the specific name of it, but basically, like, your brain is like, you, like, put more store in something, or you care more about something that you've put together yourself, even though it cost them less to make, right? That way.
Yeah.
So you end up, I
don't know that that's true. I think you end up, like, caring, like, if you cocked it up or scratched it yourself in some way, then you'd be annoyed with yourself, not with them, obviously. Like, there's an element of, like...
maybe.
There's an element of maybe you forgive the shitness to a certain degree more.
Because it's like, well, it was obviously my fault.
Yeah,
because I put it together.
I had to put this thing together, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's also the inverse problem as well of, like, when things don't... When the inherent design of the thing is in some way, like, just doesn't work correctly. Like, last time I assembled my computer chair, my newer computer chair, it of course has those, like, little rubber plugs that are meant to go over the screws, and those never fucking fit correctly in any case. It's like, this just sucks. It doesn't make me feel more enthusiastic about the product. It makes me feel like this product is more shit than it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, there's one detail about the IKEA thing that didn't really work. We couldn't really understand. Like, there's, like, on the wardrobe at the bottom, it's like, obviously you've got that sort of raised kickboard, right?
For some reason.
I'm with you on that. Why did they do that? Like, why do they, like, blank out a certain amount of space that you can't use? Like, is a kickboard all that important? Like, I don't get... Like, in the kitchen, maybe, I guess, but, like, even then, even in the kitchen, I'm not 100% sure I understand the idea of a kickboard.
It's just like, I mean, it's just a, like, ancient design holdover from skirting boards, I guess.
Yeah,
just to make it look like a skirting board all the way around the room, even when it's on furniture.
It's clearly just, like, half a foot of wasted space that you could be using. Which, in fairness... I don't know if Zach's noticed, but in my room, I replaced some of my fabric drawers with hard drawers.
Right.
Because I was breaking the fabric drawers a little bit.
Well, because
they got too much stuff in.
Yes.
Yeah, they're bending and they got too much stuff in, and I ripped some of the stitching. So I've got hard drawers in my Kallax now. But demo, look, there's this, like, enormous amount of space at the bottom that is, like, unoptimized. Like, there's like huge.
Well,
these drawers are actually tiny compared to the big ass fabric drawers you get.
I mean, that design's case is just because they had to make the actual, like, rail and shit, and they couldn't put it alongside the structure of the drawer.
Just lower it a bit. There's, like, a whole.
I mean, yes, they probably
like 2 fingers of room there. That's, like, completely unnecessary.
They probably could have made those rails better designed, but they do still need to exist.
Yeah, it's kind of waz. It didn't quite work out. Like,
I mean, you just want them like those fabric drawers, but just made of wood. Just make just a straight up literal wood box.
Man, if they did bamboo or something like that, that would have been much better. But yeah, they don't do that, unfortunately. I'm sure someone's got maybe there's, like, a third-party provider of that stuff, because Kallax is so huge, right?
Well, now you can just start building it yourself. Learn to do woodwork.
Oh, hell no. I hate it.
I mean, it's only a cube. It shouldn't be that difficult.
It's only a cube. Okay, children, lesson 1, we're gonna make a cube. A slidey cube. Anyway, so that's been me for a little bit. TV and film, I suppose. It's time for that.
That's one. We'll just move on to the next section of this podcast that somehow is not actually a section, but is a section.
I mean, I watched Illumination's Migration last night.
Okay.
You know, the duck movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
What is that?
Well, one of the duck movies, I guess there's been another one.
Has there?
There was 2, right? I forget what the other one was called.
Are they expanding their output or something? Because they're making the Mario stuff, there's another Minions thing out.
They've probably optimised.
Yes,
there's another Minions versus Monsters or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, but yeah.
They've probably just optimised their shit so much at this point that they can just crap it out this quick.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of tell it's them, right? They very much have an animation style, a bit like Pixar kind of have an animation style now. They feel very like them, like how Sony animation is quite discernible, right? Like all the studios do have a feel now, which I don't know if is a good or a bad thing, but I guess that is a nod towards their workflow must be pretty well optimized for making films in a particular way, but with a particular animation style, with a particular art style and look to them. It must be all like, if they were ever wanted to do something actually different, they'd probably be in trouble.
Yeah. They wanted to suddenly make a fake stop motion plasticine movie or something. Right, be like, oh god, the textures. Maybe that'd be none of our old textures are any use any longer.
Yeah, but then credit to Sony because they kind of did that, right, with Spider-Verse. They did.
Sure, but I bet that probably took quite a lot of effort.
Immensely, and you can see it. You can see the effort in that film. But
I feel like Pixar used to be at least a bit more.
Well, in the old days of Pixar, they didn't have a choice because they were kind of inventing the whole thing at the time.
Absolutely, yeah. They were the pioneers.
But changed every time because of technology. Yeah,
or one of the pioneers. Yeah, it's like nowadays, what tech do they really want to push? They don't. I don't feel like they're that way inclined anymore. Like, we have to make a film that makes use of this new tech we've developed. Right, Monsters Inc. It's like we've developed this ridiculous fur tech. Yeah. What are we going to do with it? Well, even Dinosaurs predates Monsters Inc., right? And that had some of the early fur tech in it, I think. And then they made it much better for Monsters Inc. But yeah, that was generally what it was like. Well, we need a furry character because we've made this fur tech. Like,
yeah, makes sense. But yeah, and like water, I guess, but that's long past, isn't it? Having a like the rats going down the sewers in Ratatouille or whatever.
Sure, but you only have to look at. Oh God, we watch enough VFX artists react to know what these like. Is it Houdini? No, not Houdini. Whatever. There's the like water sims have become so ridiculously good now.
Yeah, they have.
They cost a lot, and surely the processing time is epic to run these things. But boy, can you make some really good fake-looking water now? Other way around, really, really good
fake-looking good water.
Whoops. Other way around, but yeah, look, it looks real good now. It's unbelievable, actually, some of it. But not unbelievable. Unbelievable that it's possible. Not unbelievable when you look at it. I should stop. Anyway.
Illuminations.
Illuminations Migration.
Ducks.
Yeah,
Migration.
It's a good film. It's got Kumail.
Nanjiani.
Nanjiani, yeah, current Taskmaster contestant is the dad in it. Yeah, he's really good as well. He's really good in it. You could tell immediately. It's just his voice, and it's just like, yeah, all right, I'm in. And it's got Awkwafina in it, your favourite. So,
Awkwafina, yeah, she is my favourite. Yeah.
How is that? Is it pronounced Awkwafina? Like, I know it's spelt that way.
I think it's Awkwafina.
Okay,
yeah.
I always thought it was Awkwafina for some reason, but
maybe you're right. I don't know.
But yeah, she's in it, and she's great as well, as always. Which reminded me, like, they never did do a follow-up to Shang-Chi, right? I thought that was a good Marvel film, and Awkwafina's obviously in that as a good character, and it's like they never did anything with that, and it's that I feel that
it didn't make enough money.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel that's like a super waste.
Yeah, it definitely went like it dragged at the end. That one, like going super CGI.
Yeah, a little bit. I guess the ends. Yeah, by the time they reach the hidden village or something, that's when it definitely loses something. But still a pretty good film. I enjoyed it a lot, and I really wanted to see more of what they would do, especially the 10 rings and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to see them do more with that. But
yeah, I mean, it's obvious to just add more wuxia, right, elements to
yeah,
it.
man. You know, I'm a bit of a mark for it, so it's like, come on, give me some of that. Yeah.
It needs to be more of those. Is it called wuxia? Like films in general. Like there was a whole glass of them with Crouching Tiger and
Sure, yeah.
House of Flying Daggers, and they were cool.
They were cool.
But that was a long time ago now. 2000, I guess that was. Right, I guess it was kind of, The Matrix and everything.
Yeah, The Matrix kind of led to it was less wuxia and more just wire work films in general became a thing for a bit.
Yeah, John Woo doing fucking Mission Impossible 2.
Right, yeah. Literal wire work in Mission Impossible, I suppose. Invisible wires.
Yeah.
So I watched that. I also watched the Stranger Things finale, finally.
Okay.
Oh boy, did I love... I think it is pretty good. I know,
oh, really?
I know,
okay.
I know there was a sort of weird negative sentiment about the last season of Stranger Things, but coming off the back of that, I thought it was really good, really excellent. I think this is how you end a show, is how I came away from it.
Hopefully they do actually end it. Don't just suddenly turn back up again and be like, no, we've decided to continue.
They'll reboot it somehow.
They sort of did already. They've added this, I think it's called Tales from 85 or Tales from 86 or something cartoon show, which is supposed to be sort of in between series 3 and 4, I think, or somewhere in the timeline. That apparent. I don't know that I'll watch it. It doesn't look super brilliant. I'm not sure I'm into the art style of it or anything like that. It's a CG cartoon, I should point out, and stuff like that, but it features the kids, obviously. But and a new kid character who they never talk about in the show, but I think that's kind of the problem. I feel like this, whatever this thing is, just introduces plot holes a go if it's considered canon, So maybe skip it. Is what I'd say. Maybe skip it. Stick to regular Stranger Things. That seems good. Really enjoyed last season. I thought in general it was really good.
I need to watch those last. I think I stopped at the midpoint of that season or something. I might as well just finish it off. Because I've seen all the rest of Stranger Things at some point or other, right, from when it started, basically when it came out, most of it.
Right. So you had the what's it called? The sorcerer moment, I suppose they referred to it as, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's still good after that. Don't worry.
Okay. How many more after? Is it like 4 really long 2-hour long episodes or something?
3 fairly long episodes, and the last one is like 2 hours.
Right. Yeah, it's like a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought it was really good. I thought it was excellent. Good job, Duffer Bros.
What are they doing next, the Duffer Bros?
Oh, they were involved in something in the middle of Stranger Things, like some sort of horror show or something. They were involved in something else. Yeah, but who knows what they're up to now. Anyway, I think that's all. I did have some house grouse about something because I remember myself thinking to myself, "It's like, oh, this could be some house grouse." But now I can't remember.
No.
But it wasn't sufficiently detrimental for you to remember it.
No, I think that the IKEA has just blattered my memory.
Have you got any grouse, Zach? You usually do, but unusual.
Well,
I mean, he hasn't been buying kettles recently.
Right.
No, surprisingly, the kettle has lasted quite a long time. It feels like. I mean, our house is getting quite a lot of painting done at the moment, and I mean, I just disagree with colours and shit, but not really. I don't go in those rooms, so it's not really my choice.
Do you disagree with colours in general, or?
No,
Or
Those colours on walls.
specific colours, and also I don't understand why we're painting over like all the wood in our house at the moment. I like wood as a texture.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
Like all the window frames and stuff. Just like I would have kept them wood.
just wood grain texture.
Yeah.
Depends what you're replacing it with.
Just varnished or something.
Yeah.
Because
I wouldn't be against when we, in the far-flung future, where I do eventually replace all our windows. It's going to need to happen eventually. For hella money, of course. God damn it. I think we want to move away from the wood texture for ours. But then it's not actually wood, right? It's
sure.
It's wood-coloured plastic, but...
Whereas our ones are definitely still wood. They're not like super old. They're not ancient as wood or anything. But, you know, if I was capable of dealing with the consequences of this and, like, you know, had the general money to do it, I totally would keep the wood floors in our house.
Oh, they're getting rid of the floors?
Well, no, they're not getting rid of them. They've just they've had the lino on them for the last however many years. It's just like, it's, you know.
I guess it's been a very long time since I've been to your house. Yeah.
or you probably never even noticed when you walked in.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, you know, wood floors are a giant hassle, but they're cool. I like wood floors.
Yeah,
me too.
I like it. If I could afford I think if Noam and I could afford to replace our floors with actual wood, we would. We would.
But then again, that's a whole in this house's case and my house's case is like two different situations of what you do with a wood floor. Because obviously, my old ass house, you know, those are legit like old school style.
Right. Yeah.
There's just beams and a big hole under there.
Yeah, I mean that could be part of the problem, right?
Yes.
Because those old constructions do eventually actually get rotten.
Yes, we did suffer with that towards the end of having the floor, because you know that is the whole situation of wood floors, where it's like you have to deal with so much varnishing and treating and all that stuff just on an ongoing basis, just to keep it from getting any more shit. And I still find it funny.
I don't know if I've ever varnished a wooden bit of furniture. Like not varnished. Not that. I mean, we have. No, that might be true as well. In fairness, like, have I ever varnished a wooden surface? Have I ever like re-oiled a wooden surface like they say you should?
Well, that's just a matter of did you do the thing you should have done?
Yeah, I don't think I ever have.
Do you respect wood?
Respect your wood. Not a euphemism.
I still find it funny how in our kitchen in the winter you can literally feel where the heating pipes are when you're walking across the floor, because there's one strip that it's just warm.
Oh, that's true. That's true upstairs here as well. There's like a patch, like where you can definitely feel it coming out of one of the bathrooms.
But I think, like, you know, it must be super bad in my house, because it's just like there is literally it's a giant hole down to earth under that floorboard where those pipes are.
Right.
It's like we're wasting so much heat just radiating it down into this empty hole.
Just into the dirt.
The same applies for, like...
If you put, like, a heat source, like, a ground source heat pump near your hot pipes... Like,
suck the heat back up.
You'd waste it just to recoup it again in some way.
Like, whenever we have them... In the winter, when we have the radiator on in the downstairs bathroom, which is like, you know, it's a little tiny meter cube room, so it gets hot pretty quickly when you have the radiator on, but the floor is just straight concrete down to earth. It's like, so much heat must be leaking out directly through that.
Concrete leak?
Well, I mean, have you touched a concrete floor? They're pretty cold.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And that implies something about the heat conduction.
Is it just because it, like, hasn't... Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah. That would imply it's quite conductive.
Yes, right? It's sucking the heat directly out.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it's a bathroom, but like put a rug in there or something.
Stick a rug in it. I do want a rug for our living room as well, but like rugs are one of those things where it's like
easy to go bad.
Yeah, easy to go bad, and also like the ones you end up liking are like an absurd amount of money. Like, I've never understood rug pricing.
Even
pricing,
from IKEA, right?
Yeah, even from IKEA. I mean, IKEA, in fairness, did have a couple of rugs that were like borderline. We were looking at going, oh, you know what? This is £70 for a pretty massive rug that's not too far off from what we would like. It's a little bit on the boring side, and maybe the shag isn't as thick as we would like it, but it does seem like a bargain.
Well, yeah, I would have said so. I would imagine that decent rug would have cost way more than 70 quid.
Yeah, but we didn't. We held fire because it's like, well, if we're going to do this, let's get one we like. But like that sort of thought process, but also like, which is fine. I fully respect that. Saved me 70 quid on the day, you know. but also it's just like, yeah, if the ones we've always really liked, you then like. Admittedly, John Lewis is probably not the place to make these sorts of decisions, but you then you do that thing where you peel the corner of the display like rugs they've got out or something, and that's where the actual label is, and then you go, oh boy, like, so you know, loud enough that everyone around you turns.
Okay,
you know, that's how bad rug pricing is. It sucks.
This is some kind of conspiracy of the Industrial Revolution where, like, the first thing we invented machines to do was basically make rugs, but they've never got cheap.
Yeah. Was there some law in place to protect loomists, even if loomists don't really exist?
That was the house grass, I guess.
That's the house grass. It's time for video games because that's what this is a podcast about.
Yeah.
And we nearly had a segue in the pre-house grass section, but we blew straight past it.
I keep thinking maybe we should actually change like our RSS feed so it says this is a podcast about video games. Like,
I mean, you could.
It'd probably make more sense.
What, the description?
Yeah,
I could change that.
I forget what it is. I think our like immediate tagline, I think, is just an unhinged display of public waffle or something.
Okay.
So it's not super descriptive. You have to go below the fold to actually find out that it's about video games. Yeah, we might need to change that.
Well, I mean, if you only listen to the first half hour of the podcast, it's mostly unhinged waffle. Yeah. But congratulations, listener, you made it to the video games. So what's going on in the news?
Well, come on, we've got to get this out of the way. Motherfucking StarFox!
Yep.
Oh, I'm so hype. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I actually am. Yeah, putting the... in the first few part of this StarFox Direct, they immediately say, well, they don't actually outright say it. They kind of just sort of imply that it's StarFox 64. It's
they said
the wording is really weird.
They said the enemy patterns are the same.
Yeah, they say that at one point, and they sort of say it's like StarFox. It's really strange. They don't just go and we're making a StarFox 64 remake. They never just say that outright. Which
is weird because that's exactly what it is.
Exactly what it is. Yeah. So I'm honestly there is a bit of me that's bummed that ugh. And I think a lot of the internet is the same way on that front.
Well, yeah,
so it's ugh, they're doing it again? Again?
It's not a new game, it's a remake, and it's called StarFox.
They're just calling it StarFox, yeah.
It kind of makes it hard to make other StarFox games.
Well, no, unless this is a cold reboot.
Yeah, start of the whole new series.
2. Okay.
Well, yeah, and StarFox 2 could be something else.
I guess.
So, yeah, there is a bit of me that's you know what? I would have liked a completely original, ground-up build of something, but what if they're trying to, build StarFox as an IP again from scratch, what do? You take the very best game they've ever made, and you make it the hotness.
Well, I just feel at the minimum level, they should have just not kept the enemy patterns the same. You could have the literal level geometry be the same and just have the enemy patterns be different and everyone would be way more hype.
So, yeah, if they had just added, an arrange mode, right? This
B,
is what
B route or something where it just flipped different enemy patterns.
It's a thing that Japanese shmups in particular, have done all the time, right? They will have done, a main release and then, for some of Cave's shooters in particular, they'll have done a revision of it that adds an arrange mode to it, and all that really means is we've moved the patterns around. So, but for a shmup, that's almost playing a completely different game.
Yeah.
I mean, they might still be doing that.
Well, I mean, that's
true, but
people are getting far too much hope up about these kind of things.
Yeah,
they're secretly not telling us what's in this game like they did with Tears of the Kingdom. That wasn't even what happened with Tears of the Kingdom, really.
I cannot believe that's the case in this. I would love it to be the case, but I don't think it is. I think this is a pretty straight port of StarFox 64, just with a complete graphics overhaul. And I don't. It is And to be fair, I think it's a really pretty looking game.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, throw the. It's fair to throw some like, oh hey, it's just Unreal 5 remake like slop again.
Sure.
Like, fair. If you feel that way, that's fine. But I think in this instance, it kind of really works. It's doing the
Yeah,
business.
it helps if you're
for it.
Nintendo and you have pretty good games to start off with.
Yeah, the art direction is still solid, is what I would say. Like, it's not just that they've done an Unreal 5 slop upscale of it. It's like the art direction and the choices they are making to make this look better are on point. It looks,
and the characters look cool in the cutscenes.
So
like, they do kind of look like the puppets from the original box.
I mean, this has caused. Personally, I think there's a lot of articles out there that say like, "Ugh, those character designs," but from what I've been hearing, like across like various threads and stuff like that, and various, and if you just like collate all the responses, like I think it's more of a 50-50 split on them. It's like I'm okay with them. Like I looked at Fox, like the first time you see Fox, there is a part of your brain that goes, what have they done to my boy?
I don't know about that.
Like there was for me anyway. I was like looking and going,
it's not ugly Sonic though, is it?
But no, that's the thing. It's not ugly Sonic. Like it's not anywhere near that bad. But you do look at it and go, that's not the. I think it's just because it's like that's not the Fox I know. Right? That's not that's not the proportions I know for Fox.
Yeah, okay.
It's like no representation of Fox has been like this before. Like it's very much. It looks it's more like the puppet models from the SNES box art, right, or the SNES marketing campaign, but not quite. The heads are still a lot smaller, right?
Except for maybe fucking Slivy's. I think that's my big. Like I have a few tiny design problems with these designs, and like Slivy's head is probably too big. Is one of them, or like I can't tell whether it's just his eyes or his whole head. And also, I think his skin could use a better texture. Like it's too smooth. And I mean, I know he's
very shiny now.
Well, sure, but
he's
not
very shiny now.
It's like, is he actually a toad or is he actually a frog? Because if he's a toad, he's definitely not bumpy enough.
Right? Yeah. Okay, I can see your point there.
And then Peffy has like, I think the ears are too thin, so they look like they're too high up on his head.
They always were quite thin.
Not that thin.
Yeah.
Like I went back and looked. It's like, yeah, they definitely look better on the like StarFox Zero kind of age of model.
Right. Yeah.
And then Falco, I would have just like turned down the saturation a little bit. Like he's too blue.
Maybe. Yeah. That didn't strike me as a problem at all. Like I think that's okay. Like Falco in a weird way actually probably is the best glow up. I think like especially because they've added like proper Rito style bird legs to him.
And yet people somehow still have problems with that.
Yeah, that's not a problem. He's got proper flipping bird legs now. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know. The thing that I think like is slightly off-putting is they are, despite the fact that they're described as being more animalistic. That's the term they used. I actually think they just look more like a cosplayer. Right, and I can see why that's potentially a problem, but also a boon.
I don't even know if that's...
They're going for the furry market, are they?
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't think that's true, though. Like
they look more human proportioned, right? Like smaller, much smaller heads and much more like length, like slender
if you look
bodies.
Like the previous Star Fox models, they look like cosplayers because the heads are big. That's the whole point. Like you have them...
But the bodies were so short. But the bodies were shorter with the big heads, right? Like it's the combination of the two things. It's the much smaller head on a much taller body.
But there's no way you could fit a human head inside Fox's head now.
You think?
No.
You think his head is too small for that? I think.
Yes, I think his head is the right size for his body, and it's a fox head.
I reckon you could cosplay Fox, But anyway, yeah. So, like initial reactions aside, I don't have a problem with the new models. Like having, like by the end of the direct, I was like, yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah,
like it's fine. Do what you got to do. Well, it is bold, especially given that the Mario movie, the Galaxy,
it was had a completely different design.
Had a completely different design for Star Fox.
As I mentioned, it's like. That was where the segue was, because it's like that's the Illumination style bleeding into the because that's what the Mario movie and the Mario characters in the Mario movies look like. You can tell it's Illumination, because their design style has crossed over into the Nintendo characters.
Absolutely,
and that's the case with the Star Fox in that as well.
I mean, the biggest one is Donkey Kong, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But the DK scenario is completely different, right? Because
the DK scenario is almost the reverse. It's like Nintendo took that design for the new DK instead of the other way around. Almost. Except probably not actually the case.
Whoever came up with it first. But there's a consistency to modern DK, right? Because the only thing that really changed is kind of the eyes, right? The eye pattern. Everything else is mostly the same. But they used that for then the film Mario Kart World and the Donkey Kong game. What was that game even called? Donkey Kong Bonanza. There we go. Thank you. That model is consistent-ish between the three of them. It's like it feels on character, and it's like they haven't done that this time. They very much haven't done that this time.
Which is kind of strange.
It is strange. And it's also like, Nintendo don't really do character redesigns this dramatic. It's not really a Nintendo thing.
I mean, it's been a long time since we saw the cloud, isn't it?
I mean, when was the last time it really happened? Was it like the Smash Brothers glow up of Mario where his like blue becomes denim? Like, you know, was that the last time it actually happened? Probably.
Well, I mean, maybe when you went into like the 3D world age of 2D/3D Marios, where it's like that was quite a model enhancement.
I mean, maybe Toon Link. Maybe that's a bit as big a deal.
Yeah, but that's a kind of a completely different situation where it's just like this is because Zelda does that kind of because it always I mean, it always had, even back in the old days where it's like you had the Game Boy games compared to Ocarina or whatever.
Yeah, I suppose that's a little different. I mean, the adult Link has always kind of looked the same across the games, apart from, you know, gaining a mullet in Tears of the Kingdom, I guess.
Yes.
But like, but other than that, adult Link has been mostly consistent.
I think the one thing that I find the most annoying, apart from it just being StarFox 64 again, is that like, why, like, isn't this just a huge waste of work? They've done all this work to make these models and make these cool looking cutscenes, and it's just like, and you put it in this tiny game. It's like,
it is strange, yeah. Which makes me think. I guess they're hoping it's a launch pad for StarFox. Like, I would really hope that's the case.
But then the problem with that idea is like Nintendo doesn't really reuse assets that much. It's like, are they going to come up with a new like StarFox 2 literally, and it's just going to be reusing all that stuff and the tech and make a new game in like a year or something?
They used to reuse assets all the time.
Well, sure,
in the N64 era,
but they don't like modern ones haven't stuck to a style really. Oh wait, my modern Nintendo games. They keep jumping around. I mean, they don't go wildly off that much.
No, but I mean, I'm thinking of like almost the wildest departure were like the cutaways from Mario Strikers, like that last Mario Striker, which looked rad as hell. But
yeah, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like a lot of work for nothing.
Maybe
for like an hour's worth of cutscenes.
I mean, if they want, I guess what they were trying to say is like, how do you sell StarFox 64 at $50, right? Like, how do you do that? It's like, we've got to add something.
You had cutscenes. I don't know about that. That's not much of a value add.
The thing is that like no one seems to be picking up. Like, the thing I've seen no one mention about those cutscenes, which do also look amazing, by the way. But it's like there's no one's been saying it's like, oh, that's clearly video, right? Like. To me, like, I'm going like, well, of course they're bloody video files. It's like, I don't think they're rendering those in engine. No. Like, or maybe they're in engine, but like stuff like that. It's like, no, like they're just saying, look how good these look. And it's like, okay, fine. Like, I guess, but like also and some people were sort of saying it's like, oh man, look at the detail. They're showing what Switch 2 could do. And I have heard that a couple of times on a couple of videos that I've seen. And it's just like, no, mate, it's video.
I mean, are you sure
it's CG cuts?
Are you sure it is though? Because
I mean, I'm not sure.
That one where obviously the one at the start of the Corneria mission where they fly down and then they're in the cockpit and then it transitions directly into the gameplay. That would have to be a pretty smooth cut on that.
It's a smooth cut, but there's a very clear 30 to 60 frame rate difference.
That could just be a frame rate difference.
It could also be a frame rate difference. Yeah, I mean, I'm not ruling it out. But I personally believe these are all flippant video files, but. Maybe used to mask the loading of the level to some extent.
Maybe. Although, how much loading do they have to do, really?
Yeah. I mean,
surely 95% of the people that play this have never played
Well, yes, so that is
64,
presumably the market
That's
that they're aiming for.
what they're going for, yeah. And yeah, I mean, personally, I'm on board simply because I've said this many times on the podcast. I think Star Fox 64 is one of the best games, or Lilac Wars in the UK is one of the best games ever made. Like, it's in the pantheon for me. So yeah, I'm such a mark. Like, it's like I complain frequently about like, hey, or occasionally about hey, a game should offer a reasonable amount of content for $50, which will equate to roughly 41-ish, 42-ish pounds, I think.
How
over
much
here.
will it actually be?
I think they've already said it's like
45
£42 for the UK digital copy, but more if you want a physical copy. Because I suppose that's other news that I haven't really talked about. Nintendo basically just said, like, hey, like this is going to be us from now. Digital copies will be cheaper than physical copies.
But that's
what we're doing.
Was that the case from the start, or was it the other way around?
Well, I mean, it has been like that's how they've done it, but now they've said like, yeah, this is what we're doing from now. Like, they've kind of doubled down on like, no, we're like that was. Like as if suggesting like that was the experimental phase, and now it's like, no, from here on, this is what we do. If you want physical, it's going to cost you more. Except it won't, because you'll get it cheaper on like Amazon and stuff like
that's
that,
the thing.
which is still often true.
I think that's why I'm confused, because like I thought that was always the case, but that's not.
It's not really the case.
Yes, it's just that Amazon, you can just always go on Amazon and find it for cheaper.
Yeah, like the MSRPs are higher, but like it gets sold like for the same, if not cheaper, than the digital rate. It's, it hasn't quite worked out how Nintendo want it to, I don't think.
Well, except they're still getting the money, presumably, because Amazon is buying them off them.
Exactly. Nintendo don't care. It doesn't affect them. Anyway, I think this looks rad as hell. If I don't get it on day one, I will be very surprised. I already looked for pre-orders and like only saw the.
You'll have
Nintendo
it pre-downloaded
ones
before the release date.
Yeah. Well, I think I want a physical copy.
Well, yes,
because that box art looks cool too. Like,
they need to have a reverse, wrapper where you can turn it around and have the StarFox 64.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. Yeah,
did
Wipeout Omega do that with some of its editions, where you could turn it inside out and it would look like the Wipeout, the original Wipeout style?
Yeah. I was playing Wipeout earlier, and I realized you can unlock different HUDs. It's like the Wipeout style HUD on the Omega collection.
Wait, can you?
Cool. Yeah,
I know you could do that on Wipeout HD, but that's never happened for me in Omega Collection.
I think I just got a loyalty or something, and then I unlocked the Wipeout one, and I was like, I realized I already had the 2097 HUD as well.
Wait, what?
I was like, oh, this is.
I see. I thought they'd cut those from the Omega Collection because those just never pinged for me.
Well, I don't know.
What am I doing? What have I done?
Play more, I guess.
Yeah, what am I not doing? Oh, that's confusing.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously in Zelda I can happily switch to Japanese with English subtitles. But can I switch to Lilac? Is my question.
No.
Oh, they didn't talk
Probably
about
not.
that. Yeah, maybe you unlock that. That would be. I mean,
amazing. That would work with the cutscenes, but it would be funny.
So
Get.
So other than the cutscenes, the thing that they sort of had that with that James McLeod prologue video at the end of the Direct, which was kind of, it was cool, but kind of an odd addition, right? To have like a 3-minute CG sequence at the end. It's like what does that mean anything? Is there going to be a prologue campaign in the game? Like, again, highly doubt it.
What will you play as
James McLeod?
The father,
yeah.
James McLeod. Okay.
And go through that, but like, again, highly doubt it.
So Fox McCloud is a fox, and his father is James McLeod,
who is also a fox. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Afterthought. I guess James McLeod didn't exist. I don't think in the first Star Fox game. I don't think that backstory existed.
No, I think he did, right?
Did he?
Yeah.
In the SNES game?
Yeah, I think I remember the pixel art version of him.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
It never made any sense because of Slippy Toad and Peppy Hair.
What do you think of the new? What do you think of the new voice acting? Because that's also, is that the book coming through?
Yes, it's Discord. You've left Discord open.
Oh, okay. Sorry if you can hear that. Sorry if that records, which it probably is. I'll kill that. Also, yeah, because I was involved in the what was it? Shut up. Because it was involved in the in the OC Remix StarFox album. Go download it now from ocremix.org. I'm on it, as a bunch of other talented people are. It's like, obviously there's the StarFox channel on my Discord went kind of wild when this happened. And in fairness, most of them didn't get on with this either. They were like, another StarFox 64 remake. They were very much in the what a bummer camp.
Well, people are pointing out that Star
Fox
Fox 64 is kind of a reboot already of Star Fox.
Oh,
right?
Sure, yeah. Star Fox 64 is kind of a reboot of Star Fox. Star Fox Zero is kind of a reboot of Star Fox as well. And yeah, Star Fox. They've already done a remake that was called Star Fox 64 3D. That exists.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, they just keep rebooting it. They can't. I mean, I guess if you're a bean counter and you're looking at Star Fox, like the SNES original and Star Fox 64 are the best selling games in the series, by some way. I believe I'm going from memory here, and I don't think anything else has done particularly well. Like Star Fox Adventures, and like late GameCube cycle, not great. Not a Star Fox game, really.
Not a good game either.
But none of that matters anyway, because they're all completely in distinct eras of the video games. It's like you can't even really compare the sales of a SNES game to N64 games.
Well, yeah, exactly, because of the market share difference, right? The size of the industry has changed quite a bit since then as well. But but none of the anything that hasn't been like a core Star Fox game hasn't necessarily done well. That's the thing. Like,
what do you mean hasn't been? Like, all of them have been core Star Fox games apart from Adventure, basically.
Star Fox Assault is often considered a bit of an outlier.
Yeah.
Star Fox Command is considered a bit of an outlier, right? Star Fox Guard, definitely an outlier. They're a bit like F-Zero in that sense. Like they don't necessarily make the money.
Well, it's like every sub Nintendo brand.
Yeah, like Metroid, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like Metroid or Pikmin, even I suppose, but that doesn't really maybe even count yet. Hasn't really had enough games of 4.
It's had 4. Yeah. Anyway, they said it would happen, and it happened.
Which means get ready for Ocarina of Time.
Get ready for Ocarina of Time, yeah.
What's that going to look like?
Well, they're just in their remake period, do we think?
I think so, yeah.
On the basis of this.
Maybe this is the N64 revival time.
But then everyone's just only ever going to get more pissed off about, like, where's
the new game?
Well, where's
I
Twilight Princess on Switch 2 and all
right,
that?
yeah,
Why haven't you done these easier ones?
Why haven't you re-released Twilight HD? Yeah.
I definitely think Star Fox 64 is an easier modern remake than Ocarina of Time to pull off.
I mean, a playthrough of that's like an hour, right?
Yeah. Right, exactly.
There's one available on our YouTube channel. Yeah. I mean, that is the core problem of this. Really, is that it's not a big game. Like it's a really well crafted arcade game, and does that. It does make the price tag even at its like Splatoon Raiders reduced level, right? It's not a Mario Kart World, it's not a DK Bonanza price tag they're putting on this, even at its reduced level. If you know what this is, it feels like a tough sell. It's to the layman. To me, it's easy. Like, I'm getting it, but. I haven't felt this strongly about and I'm getting it for a while.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? I mean, but what does it tell you about? Obviously nothing. But about F-Zero.
Yes, exactly.
Come on. if it's
Maybe
part,
they'll
if it's,
finally get to it eventually.
if it's part of the N64 revival timeline, right? Okay, but Star Fox 64 and Ocarina were kind of about the same point in the.
I mean, I did see. I think it was in the Kyle Bosman video, but like he pointed out that like in Nintendo's financial report or whatever, where they're like talking about their IPs, Fox is there, but Captain Falcon is not. in their picture of his all our current characters or whatever.
Yeah. There'll be a big reveal, and it'll be freaking Wave Race.
Hey,
Put Captain Falcon in Wave Race.
Yeah,
Space Wave Race.
Okay, and the water is like just synthwave neon.
Virtual Wave Race.
Pokemon Wave.
A jet ski minigame in Pokemon Waves. There we go.
I mean, that's probably going to happen.
It is a little surprising they haven't gone back to Wave Race, actually. Okay, Blue Storm didn't do big numbers, but it was a launch game on Cube, so it did all right.
We're just waiting for those fluid simulations to become real time.
Right, yeah. It's a little like Wave Race 64 is so well regarded. It is kind of strange they haven't.
Yeah, but you can say that about a lot of weird or semi-weird early Nintendo N64 stuff, like Pilot Wings and.
Is Pilot Wings that well regarded?
Apparently.
Is it?
At least as much as Wave Race, I would have said.
Huh. All right. I guess I don't really have an affinity for Pilot Wings.
Well, no.
I've always thought those games were a bit dull, but.
It's kind of strange that hasn't been revived, right? Pilot Wings. Was there a Pilot Wings?
There was some kind of remake not that long ago. I think it was maybe Wii.
Yeah, didn't they try and put some of it into like Wii Sports Resort?
Well, yeah, there was that as well.
Yeah.
But I think there was an actual Pilot Wings specific thing at some point.
Oh no, it was 3DS.
Oh right,
there was a Pilot Wings thing on 3DS.
Yeah, because it had the stupid depth.
Yeah, exactly.
Lenticular bullshit.
It's for the 3D. Crashes in your face now. Get hype. June 25th. Right. It's not far away.
Not far.
Amazeballs. Speaking of Nintendo, the Switch 2 is going to get a $50 price rise in the US pretty soon. That equates to €30. I haven't seen a UK price for this. Nintendo's line is that, of course, it's like, it's exacerbated by market conditions and the uncertainty of the global stuff.
The global stuff.
The global stuff. Don't quote. That's not a quote. Not a quote. But the analysts predicted this would happen a while ago, based on obviously the US tariff situation kind of burnt Nintendo a little bit. Like they got hit by that pretty hard. But also with the Switch 2, despite being clearly a good success, their share price hasn't increased particularly as a result of that success. And supposedly Nintendo investors are putting the squeeze on them a little bit, saying make number go up. And Nintendo's response is okay, price rise.
Will that make number go up?
I don't know. I think so, really.
Yeah, it's hard to know. It's hard to know exactly. It's like because make price go up can either mean we'll sell just as much, therefore we'll make more money. Possibility number one. Possibility number two is you're starting to put people off with what is already a fairly pricey system, relatively speaking. Like for a Nintendo platform, it's pretty pricey. Let's put it that way.
Seems like the main way they're trying to make money go up is by making kids' films and theme parks and shit.
Sure, yeah, and I think that's working, but I don't know.
But apparently not for the stocks.
Apparently, it's not hitting share prices. Yeah. Which is all investors care about.
Yep.
So there's that. Look forward to that when we eventually get some UK numbers. Bound to happen. Everything's more expensive now. Enjoy. Please enjoy. Click. It's a Nintendo tagline. And we're raising our prices. Alien Isolation 2 is a thing. I'm just
Ooh.
I'm just mentioning it because it's just like this is the sequel nobody thought would happen. Like it's been so long. But
I thought that game was pretty much it did everything.
Well, yeah, it's kind of the perfect encapsulation of Alien,
which might be why this one could be a problem.
Yeah,
it's like when they have to invent new things instead of just riffing on the old things.
Well, apparently it's not just in like on a space platform anymore. There's like planetary. It's on planet side for this one, which may ruin the atmosphere somewhat. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it doesn't. Maybe the planet doesn't have an atmosphere and stuff.
Maybe you never go outside. It's just what you can see out the window.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think
that's the same as the sequel to the film, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Sure. On a planet instead of in a spaceship.
Yeah, sure. And like 2 is still good, right? That's the rule of Alien.
Good.
Two is still good.
Aliens is pretty great. It's just different.
So that's pretty exciting. Creative Assembly are behind the wheel again. So it's not like it's changed studio. It's not like it's the same guys doing it, which is cool. It's just such a bafflingly large gap, I guess. But yeah, cool to see it back. And I wouldn't say like Alien Isolation is my kind of game, but I played through it and I really appreciated what they went for. And I think they nailed that. Like, I think they nailed getting the feel of Alien right. It wasn't like just a all guns blazing shooter like most other Alien cool. adaptations have been. Like, yeah, they finally got it right. So it's cool to see it back. Right, time for some weird and confusing news. GameStop is attempting to buy eBay.
Right, is this some kind of weird stunt or something?
Yes.
Oh, it's so weird. Anything to do with GameStop is like incredibly bizarre, but this one takes some cake. It's the eBay is they're putting in a bid for eBay for $56 billion, so pretty big. But analysts believe they don't have 15 billion of that. Which is kind of odd.
I mean,
what does Wall Street Bets think? That's what I want to know.
Well, yes, that's the whole point of this. It's like the actual question is, do they literally have any money, really? Because the whole GameStop situation with the stock market and all that stuff is insane. And like, I lost track of it several years ago, and it was still insane even then.
Yeah, so the situation has got extra weird because eBay have since blocked the CEO of GameStop, Ryan Cohen, from selling stuff on its platform, maybe as a conflict of interest, but also because it seems like they're trying to sell off like random GameStop old store stuff to raise money for this thing, and they're kind of leaning into it on like social media. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to sell. We're selling off our random crap to make money for this acquisition.
But that part is obviously just a stunt because you're never going to make billions from doing that.
15 billion in GameStop tat. Yeah, good fat chance. Oh boy. And I mean, it gets worse when you start to think like this about this guy. Like, he has apparently gone on record very recently saying GameStop was never his real passion, but eBay is.
But that's just a CEO statement. That's the kind of thing that people will say at random at any time.
CEO of GameStop. It's like, why would anybody work for that goddamn company if you know the person running it is a shill?
Well, I mean, I'm not 100% sure he is literally the CEO, unless something has changed in the last several years before I was paying attention. I think
he's a weird
it was a part shareholding majority or whatever, that kind of thing, where it's like technically the CEO, but
right.
Because at the time, GameStop was basically going out of business, and he was meant to be coming in to save it or whatever, as CEOs tend to do. Yeah.
So, well, I mean, to that end, he supposedly has a contractual thing where he gets a massive windfall if he manages to get GameStop's market cap up to a certain level, and I suppose buying someone much more valuable than you is a way to do that, I suppose.
Yeah. Yes, it's all just a ridiculous mess of financial bullshit.
It is, yeah.
At multiple tiers. Like the CEO tier, and then the stock tier, and then the random bullshit tier.
It's so weird. It's properly weird. Anyway, that's happening. Hopefully, as usual, no one loses their job.
Well,
apart from maybe this
are
guy.
there even any jobs left at GameStop?
Yeah, is
I
GameStop
don't
even
know.
operating as a store? I don't. Yeah. Asha Sharma continues to make herself felt. Apparently, wait, that came out wrong. By stating that Xbox will no longer pursue projects that it doesn't think are of value to it. In this case, Copilot. Which is this is so weird. So yeah, the former was she a bot? I forget what her position was under like Core AI or the Copilot project. Anyway, she was pretty high up there, but yeah, and is now running Xbox. It's like the former AI person thinks Copilot is a bad idea for Xbox, so they've stopped development on it. For reference, the Copilot for Xbox was supposed to be a service where you could at any point like ask it, "Hey, this part of the game is difficult. How do I solve this?" And it would like help you through it and potentially play it for you and stuff like that. It was supposed to be like almost an assistance system, which in some ways is probably good for like accessibility reasons, potentially.
Maybe.
Maybe a good way to like sidestep needing to go look it up on GameFAQs or something.
Well, I mean
because it probably would acquire all its information from GameFAQs.
Right.
I mean, that idea had been around before AIs were what we know of them now. This would have been like an old Katana thing, basically. It's just basically Googling, but through a voice-activated command, essentially.
Yeah. And there's some merit to that, but like clearly, if Xbox need to like double down on what makes them money and win back anyone, then they probably don't need to put more AI into a space where people are pretty anti-AI. Sensible, honestly. But in my mind, like all it makes me think about is like, God, what was like? Was Phil actually like Phil Spencer? Was he actually like on board with putting Copilot into Xbox, or was he asked to as part of the need for Xbox to make more money somehow? Like, I don't know. I still feel bad for Phil, but like there's an element now like where it's just like with all of the changes feeling like there's a lot of changes that feel like the right direction now. It's like
there's a lot of changes that feel like undo.
Yeah.
Basically, they've just undone all the changes they already made just slightly before Phil left.
Yeah, and it's still not clear to us as like whether those were Phil's own decisions or whether they were forced upon him from above, and now above are using Asha Sharma as a way of saying, "Oh fuck, we done messed up." And we don't want to do, and we don't want Phil to have his moment of "I told you so." Like, I don't know. Like, I'd like to believe that that's what's going on, right? Like, I have a somewhat misplaced trust in Phil Spencer, I suppose, but because he was better than Don Matrick.
Not a high bar.
That's not a high bar to pass, is it?
Yeah. And he, you know, he was at least on some level a gamer at heart, right? He did enjoy this stuff, which is less can be said of the current management team, I suppose. They don't have a history with it. Anyway, you won't be getting that Xbox Copilot.
You can just do it on your phone instead.
Yeah,
probably.
I know they have this like pedigree or whatever, or that she's the woman for the AI department, but like everything they've said is good. They just need to like deliver something.
Yeah, they need to do it. But well, you know, Game Pass is cheaper now.
Yes, they delivered that part.
That bit is true.
They changed the price.
Yeah,
relatively easy to do.
Yeah. And finally, kind of a symptom of Ramageddon and the various hardware shortages, motherboard sales for PCs are apparently down by 25%. On last year.
What's the point of buying a motherboard with no RAM?
Exactly that. Yes, there's just nothing to plug into them, so no one's bothering. And also, I guess if you had the stuff or could get hold of the stuff to plug into them, it would be hella expensive compared to what it was. So, no surprises there. No one's buying PC, or fewer people are buying PCs. Fewer people are buying Zodiac signs.
Zodiac signs. Okay.
This also comes alongside the news that apparently, chip makers for motherboards and things like that. I guess this is the Intels and the AMDs of the world. They're also apparently doing more of a shift towards AI-focused stuff. Now, I don't really understand what the article that told me this. I don't really understand. They didn't really extrapolate on that. So, my assumption is they don't just mean CPUs, which I guess CPUs could be. There are definitely CPUs that are better designed for workloads as opposed to gaming throughput, right? Other CPUs are available. But I'm assuming this also means the other chips on a motherboard. I don't know if they still call them this, but things that were used to be called the North Bridge and the South Bridge and the PCI buses and all that kind of jazz. Someone's got to make that stuff, right? And maybe there's a spec that is better for AI workflows, so they're making the chips that are for those, and blah. Who knows? Anyway, everything is awful. AI is taking over everything. It's gonna mean everything will be more expensive for you and I for the foreseeable. Still, that story hasn't changed.
I'm just wondering, I think Valve went far enough with the Steam Machine development, they can't actually stop, and they do have to put it out.
Well, yeah, it's like it's a product. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's already done, basically.
Yeah.
It's they're just trying to calculate, when is too late and when, or versus too expensive, or can we, if we wait 6 months, does that mean it's at a price that it won't fail? Or do we just put it out now? I mean, it's just, come on, just ship it.
I mean, it's especially tough for them, but you can imagine Xbox and PlayStation are having a very similar thought process right now.
Yeah,
because
I feel like PlayStation are well, we put out the Pro, we can wait now. We can, no one bought that, so we can just sit on the PS5.
Maybe, and Xbox are we don't have customers, we'll wait for Helix. So.
Yeah, they're in more of trouble because they need to put out a new console.
Yeah, and Helix is promising to be something different. They're taking a risk on
basically a Steam machine, as far as we can tell.
Pretty much, yeah.
Except with potentially, that hinges on how much they can actually strip down Windows from a pile of advertising crap, to actually run games fast.
I haven't had
a different pile of advertising crap on Xbox.
Well, yeah. I haven't had Xbox. Xbox mode is apparently rolling out now to Windows 11 PCs.
I'll probably just randomly get a pop-up that tells me about it at some point, as Windows tends to fucking do.
Exactly. Yeah. So it is starting to roll out. Apparently, it's not it's good for reducing your RAM consumption. Is the performance gains haven't been enormous. People have noticed. It does reduce the amount of background stuff that Windows is doing. Including turning off secondary monitors. It's a single screen experience, so it saves power by not having your second monitor do anything.
I guess that makes sense.
I guess, yeah. They're going for the console-like experience, and what do consoles have? One screen. So that's what they do. No smart glass for you. They're focusing on that. But yeah, so the best improvements are for RAM usage, which I guess makes sense if you can't afford to put more RAM in your PC these days.
But I guess for the current generation of gamers, then maybe that's one of the big advantages of the PC over consoles, is that you can stream at the same time, right?
Yes, you can do anything else at the same time.
Well, exactly, yeah. So many people have got used to having the second screen do something else, be your chat window, or have a streamers in particular. Obviously, they're not going to run stuff in Xbox mode. It's just not. It's not going to happen for them. They need to run so much stuff secondarily for their life to work, unless they run it on a completely separate machine. Also possible, right? Which they might do. The pros probably do that.
Yes, they do.
Probably do. Yeah. Not everyone's a pro though. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But arguably, I don't know if Microsoft is going to get this far, but the way that the Steam overlay works nowadays does kind of take away the need to alt-tab out of most stuff. It runs a browser, so you can get into a wiki or whatever just from the overlay, and it has all those other, note-taking and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You've still got to then have it as a thing you toggle on and off on your single screen.
Yes.
Right, rather than have it just there next to you.
Just second.
Which is a little bit of the thing.
Although
but also a lot of games don't run true full screen anymore, right? So you like alt tabbing in Windows has out of a game is way less of a problem than it used to be. At the cost of perhaps some performance and the occasional like, hey, G-Sync doesn't know what to do with this moment. With that, I've finished my stout. And this is the end
therefore, that's the end of news.
Yep.
Rob's beer news.
It's time for what you've been buying. Right. Zach, you better tell us what you've been playing and
what I've been talking.
Yeah.
What you been talking?
Well, I really only got one major thing to talk about because I've been playing Shapes 2, like I said I was gonna.
Hey.
I got straight off Mindustry and back to Shapes 2 when it came out.
Is this Shapes 2 1.0 or?
Yes, it is 1.0. Yeah. It is actual release now. And they still can't decide whether it's called Shapes 2 Factory or not.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's literally still in my Steam list as Factory, but the like box art or whatever just Shapes 2.
Yeah.
You're putting a lot of things in a hole.
Yep, one big hole, in fact.
Yeah, one giant hole.
I was just trying to remember whether there are any other mechanics that involve putting things into holes, and not really. That is just the only real hole.
Put them all in the hole.
I mean, okay, are you occasionally cutting holes?
No, because you're only cutting shapes in half, so there's no like, it's not a hole at any point.
There's no like donuts.
No
Taurus manufacturing.
No, I mean that would be quite an advanced technique for that game. Cutting a non-quarter shape out of a shape. But yeah, I've been playing that, and then, like the only real difference from early access, like when I last played it, which wasn't even that long ago, but the major thing that they added for the release is the other new mode that's called manufacturing mode or manufacture mode, I guess. Which it's really weird because they created this to solve a problem that people had with the game in general, which was basically that like. You might remember from the video on our YouTube channel, but when you're playing the normal mode, you have like shapes that you have to make, and they're normally set up in like a chain of like 3 or 4 shapes where each step kind of is an advancement on the previous one. So you start with a circle and then you cut the circle in half and then you deliver those and then you cut that in half and you deliver quarters. It's like each step of that builds on the previous one, so you can basically slightly alter your already existing factory to fulfill the next step of that goal.
Yeah, without having to completely re-architect it.
But then the problem people have with that is like once you do get to the end of that chain, you just delete that entire factory because it's completely useless now.
It's no longer necessary, yeah. It's not gaining you anything.
Which like people had a problem with that from like, I don't know, feeling like wasted work, I guess. So the idea of manufacturer mode is they made it so that you have these specific like trade post buildings where you feed in a shape and it produces a different shape, and then that shape that it produces will be part of the next step. So you're basically always going to require each of these individual steps to exist because each one leads into the next one, but it's like a physical building rather than just a change of your design of factory, as in the goals were.
Huh. Okay.
So the idea that they had for manufacturing mode was the concept that you're not going to be deleting everything any longer. You're just going to keep scaling it up. So like you start off with one like red trade post doing its trade, but then that's not fast enough. You build multiple of them and you just keep adding more and more. And because all of these trades, the first shape that you get is basically free and infinite, sort of. Well, you can also make it infinite in a different way, but because it's free and comes from nothing, it's not a map-specific place that you have to mine and then ship to a place. It's just, you just get it out of the central point, which is like the equivalent to the vortex. In this map, it's like a thing that produces shapes instead of a big hole that you chuck everything into.
Oh, right, okay.
But then because every trade subsequently comes from that point, then everything like expands out from this central point, so there's no need for you to ever delete any of that.
Right.
because it's always just
significant
making
removes of like trying to push your factory outwards to fulfill the goal.
You're just
because you're having to bring it in, like actually moving your factory outwards to build the stuff on the inner side. It's presumably tricky.
Yeah, kind of. You do have to slightly plan about that, but then, like, because of the way each step is built on the previous one, you're just kind of naturally expanding away from the center anyway, and also the buildings sort of get bigger as well. But the trouble is that, like, they weirdly immediately undermined their own concept in manufacturing mode. Because the whole idea was like, you're going to build this factory that's basically going to stick around forever. You're not going to delete it. But then for some bizarre reason, they immediately undermined that by having in the tech tree, you can unlock upgraded versions of the trade buildings that use different shapes. You literally have to delete them and replace them with the new version anyway. It's like you kind of accidentally undermined your whole concept there.
You just changed the problem. Like, yeah, it's the same problem, but you just changed what it looks like.
And actually, I think that version of the problem feels actually worse, because in classic mode, once you're done with a set of goals and you delete your whole factory, you're moving on to a completely new set of goals. So you're just like starting fresh. But in manufacturer mode, if you're building the upgraded factory, you delete a whole bunch of shit, rebuild a whole bunch of new shit, but you just get back to where you were. There's like no actual forward progress in that. It's just an optimization. So I think like it actually is kind of worse to have to delete your whole factory and re-optimize to get back to exactly where you were.
I'm not sure I'm fully understanding the trade.
Well, it's just like one
building.
shape. It's just one. You feed it some types of shape, and it makes the next shape in the goals of the sort of overarching goals, rather than the little individual goals that classic mode had. There aren't any of those basically. Because you're not feeding into the vortex any longer.
Right, so you're not looking for specific shapes.
Well, apart from to make them to feed into the trades. You get each trade station, well, after a certain step up the chain, each trade station takes the shape from the previous trade station plus like one or two more that you then have to manufacture from out in the world.
And you're unlocking new trade stations that
yes,
take
each step.
more.
Yes.
So you just replace your trade station usually?
No, you build on to the next one because the previous one feeds into the next one. That shape from the previous trade station.
So what does the trade? What does the trade station do then?
It's just a building that has input and output, basically.
Right.
You feed in one shape and you get a new shape, or sometimes you feed in multiple shapes and you get a new shape.
But like, okay, it's just some weird transmogrifier.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
It's just a factory building. It's not really a trade. They just call it a trade.
Okay.
But yeah, because of that, it feels worse to have to destroy that if you want to optimize.
Mm.
Which means that when I played, I haven't completely finished manufacturing mode, but like I just have never used any of those upgraded buildings because it's like, well, I've already done all this work to build the original version of these, and I want to keep making progress. I don't want to have to go back and delete everything like you said I wasn't going to.
See, I had assumed like when you actually get the upgraded version that it would potentially delete a bunch of factory because it would do what that factory was doing. Like, so the upgraded version of a trade host would like upgrade to the point where it's actually like it's spinning out the output of the factory you had. Thus, you could like delete it and then build on from there. So it doesn't feel like wasted work necessarily. Like it would have been like, well, you did all this before, and now you've unlocked the ability to consolidate all of what you did into a thing.
Yeah, that probably would have been a better idea. Like instead of it just being an upgrade that makes the trade more efficient, you make it an upgrade where it like combines the previous one or something.
Yeah, exactly. It replaces it's like there's now a building to do what you did.
Yeah, like if you make a building that does two steps in one, basically.
Yeah,
that could have been an option.
Maybe that feels like progress at that point.
But then you would still need to delete stuff.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
You would still need
because none of your stuff would have a point anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know about manufacturing mode. I don't know if they. Well, I feel like they sabotage their own ideal in some way.
Right. Yeah.
With these weird unlocks. But apart from that, it's a slightly interesting game mode. Although also weirdly, it's like they kind of say you're meant to play it after classic mode. Like you're meant to do a classic mode run first. I guess because the manufacturer mode kind of doesn't explain the concepts as directly.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's skipping a lot of steps.
I guess it doesn't have the tutorial, right?
Well. The tutorial is sort of its own individual thing. Like, you can continue from the tutorial into a classic mode save directly, but you don't have to.
Okay.
The tutorial is kind of independent. So I played most of manufacture mode and then went to a classic mode run as well. And yeah, that game is still that game. It's still kind of weird how at a certain point you just stop making... You kind of stop doing designs because you just make a single design that does a thing and then just copy it a bunch, which is kind of how a lot of these factory games work. But it's particularly, like, it's very much how Shapes works because of the difference between, like, the individual platform with the machines on it and then, like, you copy that whole platform and therefore it just copies all of the machines on it. And so you can make a blueprint where it's like, this platform just takes the input belts, rotates everything 90 degrees and puts it out. And then every time you need to rotate something 90 degrees, you just put down that whole platform and it deals with the whole throughput of the space scale belts on the small scale. And then you just copy that as many times as you need for, like, a space belt is essentially equivalent to, like, 12 normal belts. So you just have 12 of those, attach one space belt through them all the shapes are then getting rotated 90 degrees, and then you just feed that off into more platforms.
So I thought platform space was limited.
It theoretically is. Like, you have a limit to how many platforms you can build, but that number is ridiculously, like, far too large.
Because I don't think we got to that in our video, right? Where you're building, like, extra space on which to build on, effectively?
Basically.
Okay.
Yes, I guess we didn't get that far out because we started from scratch in that video.
Yeah, it sort of implied, like, here are these platforms. Yeah, here's what you got.
Yes, I mean, maybe you can see a little bit of that in the video by when you build the mine that has its sort of independent space on the mine tile that you can build inside.
Right.
Even if I probably only just built belts for it in that video. But yeah, because once you get to the point where it's weird because it kind of means you get out of the concept of optimization too soon. Because, like, if you make a platform that rotates everything 90 degrees and then you have it saved as an independent platform and that's just the blueprint, there's no real reason to go back in there and make the design of those machines on that platform any more efficient. Because it doesn't matter. Everything's free, so there's no building costs. So you can make that, the design that's within the concept of that platform is like, that can be as inefficient as you want. You can have the belts just loop around for no reason. It doesn't actually make any difference. So yeah, it does. You do just sort of make a series of blueprints, and then when you're looking at a shape you need to make, you're like, okay, here's a shape that I can mine up that's sort of close. So if I just build a line of platforms that rotate it all 90 degrees, build a line of platforms that cuts half of it off, build a line of platforms that recombines it diagonally, and then that's the output. It's like you don't actually do any design work on the machine level any longer at a certain point because you've already built these things that you just stamp down everywhere.
It's like, this is how it's done. Yeah. Well, yeah, it kind of makes sense. The problem becomes macro, not micro.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the idea, but then that kind of doesn't have any design to the macro scale.
Right, I guess at some point you just don't think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, like a CEO, I can just buy more if I want more.
Yeah, kind of. There's only a minor amount of, like, design in the macro space, like, where you have to, like, manage getting the space belts to the platforms because they're slightly more limited on how they can navigate around each other and stuff on the free layers. And trains, obviously, to ship everything back to the vortex if you're in classic mode.
I mean, with that in classic mode, yeah, would that be the approach? Because you haven't go the other way, but you need to then put stuff in because you build outwards from some locations and then just use trains to chuck it in the hole.
Yes. Yes, everything filters back into the vortex. And in the early stages of classic mode, obviously, you can't even directly shoot the trains into the vortex. So that's an unlock.
Oh, that's an unlock. Oh, okay.
But once you get that, it's just like, now I just have literally a rail that goes directly into the vortex. So I don't even have to worry about unloading or anything.
Which you could see in the title screen.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I played most of the way. The classic mode has also been slightly extended because it... Basically, once you get to where the end of classic mode used to be, they sort of port in some of the manufacturing mode trade buildings as well. Except they work slightly... Well, they work kind of the same, except the trades are less complicated for classic mode. So I think there's pretty much only ever one input, one output, or two inputs, but they're from the previous trade stations directly, so there's no actual... Like, you don't have to go and find extra shapes elsewhere to bring in for that. And it's really just to make them different colours.
Is it weird that for a 1.0 release that they're calling it classic mode? There's a bit of me that's just like, well, shouldn't that be just normal mode? Or...
Well, maybe. I mean, that's just a name, I suppose.
I know, but it's like classic implies it's like this is what it was like in a previous game.
I mean, that's also true for Shapes 1, I suppose.
Okay, fair.
Kind of. I mean, it wasn't a vortex in Shapes 1, it was just a weird box in the middle of the map.
Feed the box.
And maybe they also wanted to slightly make it less confusing for like how the difficulties are tagged into the name of the save files and stuff. Because you have classic, but your save file will probably say classic regular, because regular is then the difficulty. Or classic challenge.
Right.
Or manufacturing challenge or whatever. It's like the difficulty is an independent thing, and so they probably didn't want to be like normal.
This is a classic challenge.
And I guess the other major difference in 1.0 is they changed I think it's an option that you can do when you're starting a save, but they changed how the map generates. So all the asteroids appear in basically a spiral that spirals out from the center, which means that it's much more, well, completely unnecessary, but you have this nice empty space to build in if you want, but of course it doesn't actually matter if you're building on top of deposits, because there's infinite deposits everywhere.
Right.
And probably a lot of them are not actually going to be any use to you, because they're all weird little bits of shape that are just not efficient to use. You want to use as close to the shape you actually need if you can find it on the map. Just use the search feature where you just like put in the shape that you're trying to find and it will highlight it on the map.
Oh, neat. How does that work? Do you, like does it just give you like a palette of shapes and you drag them into the like search for this, please?
Well, it doesn't.
Like, or do you have to like type like I need a circle with a roundy bit in one color?
Well, you can kind of. So the search
circle with a roundy bit.
The search bar works by quarters because the shapes you can mine are never more than one layer anyway. So it only has to worry about the 4 quarters. It just has like drop down menu for each of the quarters, so you can be like circle, square,
I see.
Square, circle, and then it just finds that combo. But yeah, the shape, you can also type in certain boxes, like if you want to, when you're making map markers so you can find bits of your factory wherever the hell they are, you can either create a shape by just clicking on them, or you can type the shape codes, or you can copy paste the shape codes, like basically so you can just mark it with like the current goal you're working on. You can just click on the icon of the goal you're working towards. It will tell you the code in text, copy button, then paste that into the map marker, and it just copies that actual shape.
Interesting.
Or you can physically type it out if you remember all the different letters that you'd have to type for that to work.
What the syntax is.
It's not that complicated. It's like capital letter at the front is the quarter, the shape quarter, and then small letter after that is the colour, and then 4 of those, and then you delineate it with a semicolon, and then the next layer of the shape.
Did layers like have sizes?
Yes, they get smaller as they go up.
Oh, but they just
it's just visual. It's
okay.
they're not like literally different shapes.
Right. You couldn't have like a thick.
No.
You're not making like burgers.
Not quite. You do make something that the game implies looks like a pizza. Which is like a brown circle with a red circle on top of it and then a yellow circle on top of that.
Right. Okay. If viewed from above.
Yep.
Otherwise it's pizza tower.
Yes, otherwise it's a mound. Hella Chicago style.
I mean, that's quite a weird Chicago. It's like conical pan. Whatever.
Conical, yeah. How do you get that to work?
You'd have to use a lot of cheese to hold it all in.
Yeah. Fascinating.
So yeah.
Conical pizza.
I mean, you need a base of variable thickness as well, which is like especially difficult in the middle, right, where it needs to get thicker.
I mean, the base wouldn't have to. The base could still be flat.
Do you not think? Like, is it just mound of toppings?
Yeah.
like an open faced.
I mean,
what are those ones where you fold them up? I've forgotten the name now. God, me and names recently. My vocab is dying.
Surprising because we do a podcast every 2 weeks.
I know.
You'd think talking a lot would be useful for us.
Yeah.
But it's not, because we always get words.
No.
It just makes it more apparent.
I guess once every 2 weeks is maybe not enough to maintain. Here's some useful data for future scientists. To maintain vocabulary, you need to talk more than once every 2 weeks for a long period of time.
What the fuck are those folded pizzas called? Like, it's in my wheelhouse and I can't remember what they are.
Calzones.
Thank you. God damn, I knew it began with C. I got that far in my brain. But yeah, so it's like an open-faced calzone is what I was saying.
That's what
yeah.
I mean, technically all pizzas are kind of already topping stacked towards the middle.
Kind of. But, like, I always found with like calzones, it's like that there is much more of a focus on the topping inside, right? And like it just feels like there's a bulk of it, like a burrito. Like,
well, yes, that's why they're shaped like that, because that's the only way you can contain that much. In real physics world, a big pile of pizza toppings in the middle of a pizza would not actually be good.
You gotta contain.
So yeah, that was Shapez 2. And that was kind of mostly all I played. I maybe popped into Endfield a few more times. Although I've now basically hyper-optimized the first map's factory. So that's basically, I never need to look at that again. But the second map's factory, they actually did an event where it was a factory event, and I was like, hell yeah, here's the bit of the game I like. Here's the bit of the game I can be pro at. But then it wasn't actually that complicated. It's like, disappointing. Barely even took any effort. It was more like restrict your outputs of what you're currently making to save a few resources to run through like one building to make this new thing.
Okay. I guess I've never... Like, the way you've described how the factories in this work, like, you never made them feel like they were, like, mandatory.
I mean...
Like, they felt like the stuff that they were making was, like, unnecessary.
Well, there's a few, like... Obviously, when they're tutorializing it, they add a few steps where it's like you have to make a thing.
Right.
Because they want to tutorialize. But, like, I guess... Yeah, after the tutorials, there's not really anything that's especially mandatory. It's more just like you're making the money... You're making the money. You're making the map-specific money, because it's restricted to each of the individual factories, basically, or maps. But, like, you're making that money to buy... mostly just food buffs at a certain point. I mean, there's a lot of one-time purchases in that store, but like on the long term, you're only going to be buying food buffs probably, and I guess some.
Okay, so you have to do some of it in order to earn a type of currency in order to buy a thing you need to progress.
Well, not really. I don't think you'd even necessarily need any of the stuff in that store to progress. It's more just like bonuses. I mean, obviously, there's stuff that's just like, you know, you can buy some of the XP up items or the weapon upgrade items or whatever, but to a limited amount. And obviously, because the factories just run, theoretically, you could make any amount of that. Will eventually you'll buy all the limited stuff out of that store eventually, no matter how much of this money you're making, no matter how inefficient your factory actually is. So there's not really a super amount of necessity to be super good at the factory thing.
Okay, gotcha.
And obviously there's the whole community aspect of where it's like you just go get someone's blueprint and then just put it down and then you'll be done.
Oh, right. Well, you can literally just do like his solution file 1B.
Yeah, like, pretty much. I think it uses a similar method to like Factorio where it just like exports it as a text string. Where the game can just reinterpret that as where all the buildings are or whatever. It probably is actually much easier to do in Endfield because it's a much more restricted amount of space than Factorio, where you can copy a whole shit ton of stuff. But yeah, you can just look online and find the solved solutions for all of this if you want to.
Oh, of course, yeah. There's always going to be, like, for any game like this.
Well, but
here's my optimization.
Obviously, but with these blueprints, you don't even have to build it yourself. Yeah. You literally just load the blueprint and then go, boop, that's it.
Yeah. They were too helpful.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Maybe. But yeah, that's where, I hope maybe they will do some more advanced stuff with these, like, special events with the factory stuff.
Oh, yeah.
To make one-off redesigns. I mean,
it makes sense, because it's kind of this game's... For a gacha game, it's kind of its unique thing.
I mean, the reason I haven't optimized the second map's factory yet is because we're still not done with the second area. It feels like there's going to be more to that factory still.
Hmm.
Or not necessarily more to the factory, because we're already at the end of the tech tree, I guess, but more resources to input.
Hmm.
But not new resources, just more.
Right,
because obviously
you can make more of the stuff.
Yeah, because obviously in the first maps factory that I've now super optimized, it uses like the exact amount of resources that map can produce to produce the exact amount of maximum output it can.
Right.
So it's all balanced precisely. But on the second map, obviously, can't do that until we know the maximum amount of resources that are going to exist, because we haven't opened up the last of the map and found the new mines or whatever.
So does the game give you a reason to revisit your previous factory? Like, do the things you learnt from the second map factory or acquired from the second map factory allow you to go back to the map one to optimize more?
Not really, because they're kind of independent. Like the tech trees are completely independent,
right, yeah,
so you unlock stuff at different times. So you could theoretically have like fully optimized the first map factory before you even entered the second map.
Gotcha.
If you spent the time then doing it. But yeah, I'm waiting for the second map to be complete, and then I can finish optimizing those factories, and also this event to be over, so I can undo that bit. Bit that's like stealing half the resources off my normal production.
Right. Yeah. Well, a special event that slows down your progression for a while.
Well, it was the trouble with the second map's factory at the moment is you don't really make enough, because you want to make the meds, which is like the one thing that you really want to, apart from money, out of the factory. The second map has quite a low amount of resources, so you can't even like fully run a machine that makes the medical items at maximum capacity. There's just literally not enough ore or whatever on the map at the moment to run one of those at full capacity. So you kind of have to intentionally limit it. But then with this event stealing even more of the resources, I almost... well, for a while I did literally turn off the med making machines for a while, because it was just like I need to go and re-optimize that part of the system. I need to... Because you can't... The one thing that is kind of annoying for that process of optimization is you can't... There's no such thing as a, like, belt priority, basically. You can't be like, send these resources here first and then here. Which therefore means that you can't... Because you can't control that, then if you have, like... If, for example, the machine that makes the batteries that power your whole fucking system uses a resource... but then you want to use that resource also to make the meds, but you don't have enough to do both at the same time, you can't have it prioritize to make the batteries and then overflow into the meds. You instead have to like use splitters and stuff to basically make the belts run at the correct ratio manually, rather than just having it be an overflow, which is unfortunate. I feel like an overflow would make sense, but maybe that'll be in like map freeze tech tree. Maybe we'll develop the ability to have overflows by the time we get to the third map.
Sure, yeah.
But you can just do it with maths, provided you can work out how to deal with, like, you can only half things, so how do you make, like, a 2/3? That kind of maths.
The awkward math.
Yes. That was Endfield. I'm sort of even nearing fully finished with, like, character... Well, not exactly character leveling, because there's a lot of stuff that where... Like, XP-wise, I've made... Every character I have is at 60 now, which is where the XP items you need switch to the high tier. So, like, I no longer need the low-tier XP items, I only need the high-tier ones, so there's no reason for me to ever manufacture any of the low-tier stuff, low-tier XP items any longer. But, like, going from 60 to 80 takes a lot of the high-tier ones, so I don't have enough to level everyone up to 80 yet, and then there's all the, like, special materials you need to get from, like, the daily energy grind or whatever for leveling up skills and weapons and all those other little bits and pieces. But I feel, I don't know how the percentages shake out really, but I feel like the leveling, the amount of like stats or whatever you get from just leveling up is probably the highest priority in terms of like damage output or whatever. And then it's probably, maybe the armor stats. So making them, that's another thing you do have to make in the factory, like the materials to make the armor with. But yeah, I feel like I've kind of almost done the major optimizations for all my characters as well. So bring on map 3. I'm ready, but we've got at least another probably 3 months until then. And that's it. That's pretty much all I played, apart from Rocket League.
Apart from Rocket League, always Rocket League.
I did save a few relays of goofy shit.
The goof. What have you been playing then, Rob?
Well, obviously more Dave the Diver. Obviously.
Still? You're not done with that?
No. I mean, admittedly, the last couple of weeks have been a little. I've not had again as much time for Gameage as I would like, but just the nature of things at the moment.
Too much IKEA.
You're probably too much IKEA. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. I mean, I would say like the portion of the main plot that I've done in the last couple of weeks has possibly been the least interesting of the game so far. Like, it does almost feel like it's like to some extent petering out, daving out, some other name out,
Daving out. Yeah.
Poor old Peter. He's got to be associated with the slow decline of things for a while.
Probably not where that comes from.
No, probably not at all.
Peter Principle.
Unless it is like some ancient Cockney writing slang thing that's just transitioned into being regular language.
Yeah, so some guy called Peter, like, he just can't make it through this pub session. Like, he's a 1 pint man. He peters out after that. Cool, blimey. I don't know. Yeah, the main stuff hasn't been super interesting. I am like still kind of unlocking mechanics. Like, it still keeps throwing extra things to me. Like, I now have chickens. I've got chickens, on my farm.
Are they in the sea?
No, they're not. They're not in the sea. They're not sea chickens. It's still expanding a little bit. I've got a flipping Tamagotchi now.
Well, that doesn't seem too complicated.
No, it's not that complicated. It's just another thing you do at the end of a dive, right? In between, in your in between stuff moments, you have another thing to go and look at. I think like kind of, it's still great. There's still every now and then like it will throw in something slightly unexpected, and you're like, oh, okay, I like, you went all in there in an unexpected kind of way. It's like almost anything it will either do like a little side bit of something, or there's just that little bit more of something there than you really expect them to do. Like, at one point you get VIP requests every now and then, and they come and ask you for, man, these might be a little spoilerific because it's just kind of funny, but like, yeah, you go. You get VIP requests for certain dishes and stuff like that, and it's like turned out that at least 2 of those VIPs are at least on some level real, right? They're not like just in the game. They are kind of like references to actual people, actual artists. If you go check it out afterwards, to the point where like one of them just puts on an impromptu concert, KK Slider style, and you can listen to a couple of tracks like accompanied with animations of your crew around a campfire and stuff like that. And it's not just like, oh, it plays a little bit of it. It's like, no, lock in. You're there for a good 10 minutes if you want, just listening to this music, which is pretty cool. I don't know, I enjoyed it. It's just like, I didn't see that coming, and it just does that a few times. With whatever it's doing, like, there's always just that little bit more than you think to everything, more than it has any right to have.
Right.
Like, I won't mention it here, but like, I told Zach about one a couple of weeks ago, and it's just like that must have taken effort to put in, like,
Right.
as a random side thing you can do.
There's so much like random bespoke things in this.
Yeah. wild. It's a wild game. It's got me like actually somewhat excited for the DLC to be like, what on earth are they going to add next to it? They've kind of shown that it's going to have some dungeon crawling and stuff in the DLC, and it's yeah. I think like my only sort of like downer at this point is like nearly 40 hours into this game. I'm like the loop has lost its edge. And loops and doing a dive and achieving what I need to during a dive takes quite a while now. And like I'll have like targets that require me to be at like almost every part of the sea. It's like I'll do a dive from the top, and like you do eventually get like shortcuts to like just go to the deep bit, and stuff like that. But I need stuff from the shallows, and then if I dive in at the shallows, you don't just go back to the boat and then go, okay, well now go to the deep bit, because if you go back to the boat, time skips, right? You lose that part of the day. You lose your morning dive because you've stopped diving. So you do it in one go. You go to the shallows, you get all the stuff you need there. You go down to the next level, you find what you need there. You go down, then you get to the sort of middle bit, and then you can skip one of the sections because one of the sections ends up being a sort of closed off area at one point. So you skip that bit, and then you skip to the really deep bit, and you skip to the deep like extra like end game section. What I assume is the end game section. There's still 2 areas that I haven't unlocked in my fish farm, so I assume those are bits I haven't been to yet. Yeah, it just keeps going. Yeah, so that loop can end up being quite long. There's a bit in the middle where you might have to do some management as well. Halfway through a dive, you've got to stop and do a tiny bit of management. All the while you're watching how much weight you're carrying and how much of the fish you've caught along the way are actually relevant to what you care about.
These fish are so irrelevant.
Well, yeah, like there comes a point where it's just like, I don't want all these little pansy fish. It's like I'm going for the big prizes because I need those for the next party that's happening at my restaurant, and that's where I'm going to make the big bucks, so I can actually expand all my other management things, or train my staff, or upgrade my weaponry to hunt for even bigger fish, or solve the great mystery of the blue hole. There's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on, and as a result, like as I say, the loop is getting pretty long now, and as a result, that's getting a little more tedious. Let's put it that way. It's getting more tedious than perhaps when it started, when it was a nice quick loop. And maybe that's just the way I'm playing. The game has always like teased you on the bits where you're not under the sea with like a skip time button. Like, so I guess if you wanted to just sell stuff at the restaurant more, you could just not do the dives. But then, like with a system like that, there's a bit in my head just always going, well, yeah, but then I'm wasting time, right? Well, what am I doing with my day? Like, not diving. I could be diving and getting more fish and putting more fish in my fish farm, so I can then farm that fish for more money, or and stuff. There's always something you could be doing to make things better. And I think to a certain point, like because I've been having that mentality with it and been doing pretty well on the dives, that it's just like I feel like I'm a bit ahead. Like I've perhaps like in terms of the timeline, like I've got further. I've progressed the main plot line at times, perhaps faster than my cash flow has progressed, because I've spent so much time in the water getting stuff that I'm spending less time doing the restaurant bit at the end of each day, and thus gaining money in order to buy upgrades and buy things I need. So perhaps, and yeah, not just to myself, but to the farms, to the other things you end up having to manage that cost money to improve. And so, like, I never feel like I've got enough money in that game, like for what it's asking me supposedly to do next. Like I got the current area I'm in. It goes, oh, you should really think about upgrading your guns, and then you go look at the what are the next upgrades? It's like, oh, that needs materials I've never heard of, and also costs so much more stuff than I've ever required. Like,
but can you really like decouple the money that much from the rest of the game loop? Like, can you?
Well, it becomes multiple currencies as well, just to make things more confusing.
But can you, like, when you say you're spending more time diving than you are doing the shop stuff. Like, how far can you push that in the other direction and still make money?
Yeah, I wonder. Like,
Because surely you need to do the diving at a certain point.
Yeah, I guess there comes a point where you've got a boatload of fish and you could just sell it all, right? Spend more time in the restaurant and just sell off, even if it's like not making big bucks, like sell off your less valuable stuff.
Right, just like do McDonald's for a while.
Yeah, do a cheap day, like we are selling off all your pansy fish. But I mean, but there's an outlet for that as well. Like you can instead of selling those fish, when you amass like large quantities of them, there comes a point where you could like, well, I could try and sell those fish as the cheap option on my menu, or I could burn like 20 to 30 fish on making on Bancho experimenting to make that dish marginally better and level up the dish, right? Because there's a whole dish enhancement thing there as well. So that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. It's like, oh, I've got 50 of this low-tier fish. Is that enough to do my next enhancement? Yeah, all right. Well, let's make it cost £1 more or something, which is like 1 coin more, which is like nothing at this point. I don't even know why I'm bothering with those. Just to get that number up, I guess. Like, make everything expensive. Ramageddon my fish. There's a lot going on. But yeah, it's getting a little bit more of a grind at this point to perform those loops. I think where I'm at right now, I don't have a need to do the shallows. So maybe my next few loops will be like just go to the hard bit, just go to the
dive right in.
Yeah, literally just go to the deep sea and do what you need to do down there. I think I've got there's actually a bit of the story has stopped at the moment. Like, I'm not at the end of the game or anything, but there's literally just a period of time where nothing can happen, and I've just got to make, time has to pass. So maybe like my checklist has got quite small. Like I've finally like whittled that down, so maybe I can just go and actually catch some fish for a while. Like do a basic run where it's like, well, get the fish I'm after, or I want to grow more of, or I need the materials from. I can actually focus on that for once rather than the checklist. Which hasn't really happened. Anyway, Dave the Diver's one. It's a hell of a game.
Amazing.
It's a game.
It's a lot of games.
It's a lot of game. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff in there that I really kind of want to talk about, but to do so might there's a lot of surprise in Dave the Diver, so I don't really want to talk about some of the coolest stuff. So I haven't really been doing a lot of I guess modern gaming outside of that particularly. I mean, Dan, you'll be slightly interested in this one. Is I mucked around with Colin McRae Rally.
Colin McRae Rally 1?
1, yes.
On the PlayStation or
yes,
or PC?
And yes. On both.
Okay.
Because I have copies of all of them. So it's I mean that game holds up pretty well, honestly. Okay, so the PC version is a bit of a pain it's a little bit of a pain to run on modern systems. I've borrowed Zach's external CD drive because obviously my PC doesn't have a CD drive now. Who builds a case that can support that anymore? I borrowed his external drive, and I put a PC copy of it in there and tried to get it functioning. And it's like there's quite a few hurdles you have to go through to get it. And I got it vaguely working, but there were problems. My abandonware has a pretty good solution for it. People have made modern patches for it that make it run on modern Windows, but they're not They're not perfect is the problem. So My Abandonware also has a repack version you can get hold of, which basically just has all of the patches pre-applied into a version you just chuck on your system. And in the end, that worked better than trying to do it myself. There was a bit of me that's just like, well, I've got the CD, I should use this, right, and do this properly. But it's in the end, actually just getting hold of the repack was the easier option. And that works better. You're still going to run into a few problems, though. For instance, the videos don't play back properly. Which there aren't many of, admittedly. It's like if you do the rally school, right? You get this. Right. Yeah. You get this incredibly I don't give a shit take from Colin McRae telling you what to do. It's like, here you're going to go around some cones and something.
Yeah. I do remember that, actually, yeah.
Yeah. And there's usually a video playing that actually shows you what the task is on a little CRT screen.
But you can't see that in this.
Yeah, and that's not running properly. But I also found it looked a bit. There's some like 60 hertz issues as well, so you need to set your monitor to 60 hertz in order for it to run okay. And I still found there's some frame hitching a little bit, but in a kind of weird way on through all this. So it's not perfect. I also found like running it on like with the hacks in place, and it uses DG Voodoo to translate the old direct. I think it was using direct play back in the day to convert those calls to modern DirectX. And I found it like on the default, like it just running old games at like high res isn't always a good option. I didn't really like how it looked at at 1440p with fully filtered textures turned on. Fortunately, with DG Voodoo, you can set that like with a bit of finagling, I could get that back to a 4:3 aspect ratio. At 800 by 600 with point filtering turned on, so you get take that texture filtering and chuck it away. So it's like the PlayStation version, but at a higher res and frame rate than the PlayStation version. And then I felt more at home with it, and it seemed like this is better. I think actually elements of the game do look better with the lower resolution and just that little bit of crunch to it. I think it's a more aesthetically pleasing experience. But that game's pretty good, yeah. In terms of handling and stuff like that, that car is way more whippy, I think, than rally games ended up being after that point. Like it turns on a dime and then slides. Like it's
Scandinavian flicks going on.
Yeah, very much so. And that's true if you're playing like with digital controls or with like analog controls, because you can rig this up to use analog steering. It supported analog inputs, but it only supported accelerate and braking on a single axis if you put those into analog mode. So you can't like have your triggers, for instance, on your controller like do brake and accelerate separately. Like they basically like Colin McRae 1 only allows like a y-axis. So it's either accelerate or braking analogly. You can't do both.
So if you're in the middle of the travel, you're not doing either.
Yeah, or if you held both down, for instance, you wouldn't do either. I've left that on digital mode, so it's like I'm using the buttons, old school style, to do it, but with analog steering, which I think is the closest analog to how the PlayStation version works. So I'm having a pretty good time with it. I've gone through quite a bit of the championship in intermediate mode, and it's like it's pretty addictive. Like it's just like I'll just do another couple stages. I'll just keep going. Like it's still it holds up pretty well.
Well, that's good to hear.
And the PlayStation version and the PC version are pretty much identical. Except obviously, you're, like on the PlayStation, you're going to get like only running at 25 frames in the UK, and it's crunchy as all hell, which is also like pretty aesthetic pleasing with how it looks. Like it's obviously running at 320, 240 or something like that, so it looks real gnarly and crunched up. But you get those videos, you get the loading times aren't bad. You get the animations in the menu don't flicker awkwardly. It's, you get the intended experience if you're playing it on the proper game on proper hardware. So it's got that going for it, but it is like somewhat surprisingly absolutely identical.
Yeah, interesting.
Like I was half expecting it to be changed in some way, because like
even they made it for the PlayStation and then sort of.
Yeah,
presumably.
Because there were differences like in Codemaster's other games at the time. Like V3 on PlayStation isn't exactly the same game as V3. I mean like Micro Machines V3. Micro Machines V3 on PlayStation isn't exactly the same game as Micro Machines V3 on PC. Like the differences are subtle, but they're there. Yeah. Whereas this is 1-to-1. Pretty great on either. Still recommend to this day. So that's been fun.
Are you gonna do 2.0 or whatever? Because you guys played that more than me with the full focus.
Yeah, we played a lot of 2.0. I played a lot more 2.0 back in the day than
that had a
1.
very Wipeout inspired kind of Stark menu.
Man, yeah, that menu rules. It's a really cool design. Like a tradition, I guess, that carried on in Colin McRae and Codemasters games for a while. Like, yeah, they.
But that's not in 1, right?
No, one has like a radial menu around the logo, right? And that's the bit that doesn't animate properly on this PC version, is how that moves around. But yeah, you picked on things, and then it would like just sort of move to one like sector of the cog, and that would be where other menu items would appear, and then you'd click on them, and then it would go to like a skeuomorphic, like lights and LED in that like LED segmented text kind of weird menu. It's like it's slightly, it's not stylized really. Like it's kind of strange. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's perfectly serviceable.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. Is what I mean. But it's like next to the other Colin McRae games, there's like a distinct lack of style compared to like the full on style they had from there on. But yeah, it's a cool game. I mean, similarly to in PlayStation land, I bought a PS1.
Okay.
And I explicitly mean a PS1, not a PlayStation.
A PS1. The sort of rounded white one.
Yeah, the little white PlayStation Mini before they did the first Slim, I suppose. Yeah, because my PlayStation is starting to have, I believe, like laser issues. Like it seems poor. Certain games seem to it seems to have a real problem playing back the music tracks in particular. Like I noticed it in Colony Wars where it wasn't playing. Music would start to skip every now and then, and some of the speech in that game would start to skip. Not catastrophically, but sometimes like reasonably distracting. Like some of videos in some games don't play back quite right. So I thought, like, yeah, that's a bit, and I've tried cleaning it and stuff like that, but like it's not really made much difference. So I think that laser's on its way out. Now I could have replaced just the laser module. You can get replacement laser modules, and by that it's like pretty much like the entire CD drive part of that thing can just be taken out and replaced. I think just replacing the laser would actually be kind of tough. But yeah, just rip out and replace the whole CD unit. So I could have done that, but I noticed that that's pretty much the same price as just getting a whole nother PlayStation. So I did that instead. Yeah, this little thing's it's pretty cool. It's pretty
Does
neat.
it come with a controller?
Yeah, it's got one of the white dual axis controllers
nice,
as well. Yeah, I haven't actually tested that yet. It's in a box next to me right now, but I haven't tried that bit yet. I can confirm it doesn't have laser issues like my actual one. Like music plays back just fine.
Okay.
That Demolition Racer I talked about a couple of weeks ago had serious music issues on my other PlayStation that do not exist on this one. So upgrade. That's good. What has been a royal pain in the arse is that this thing, the signal it puts out is pretty different. Like literally
Really?
the video signal it outputs is different to what the other PlayStation did. My OSSC had no problem syncing to the PlayStation. Let's call it the grey station. It had no problem.
PSX.
Yeah, it had no problem syncing to that. Just with defaults, and like it didn't really need much in the way of timing offsets and stuff to get a really good picture out of it. Like this thing, the PS1 immediately had issues where the OSSC was losing sync kind of all the time. And because I was using Demolition Racer at the time, which was like, I knew had music problems and was trying to think, it's like it seemed weirdly predictable when it was going to have a problem. Like if the game was under load, for instance, then the signal got shit or something, and just then the OSC would lose. So it was at very specific points that I was losing signal, which I thought was weird. So it's like, and I couldn't quite. I haven't really worked out exactly why. The PS1 is a lower power device than the original PlayStation, as you might expect. It has less power draw. You get a power adapter in this thing that is it's a wall wart. It's an adapter on a plug this time, but the voltage it requires is much lower. You normally just used to plug it like a kettle, not a kettle lead, but like one of those like ones that look like a little figure of 8, right? With two pins. You just plug a power lead with one of those into the back of the original PlayStation. Presumably there's some power unit in it to do the conversion. But I think the power draw was higher on that thing than the PS1. So I assumed that it was issuing a weaker signal, and thus I needed to tune the OSSC to do that. But I actually think the opposite is true. I should probably tweet about this somewhere or something, or put it out there, because the solution for me was actually assume it's a stronger signal, because I think that was what was happening. Like the signal might actually have been stronger, and the sync part of the signal wasn't obvious enough, if you see what I mean. Like if you think the amplitude of the whole signal is larger, what the OSC might have been seeing as the sync amplitude, like or the part of the wave that, or the spike of the pulse, I suppose, that looks like where the sync point was probably just getting lost in the noise of the rest of the signal. So I actually had to make the OSSC look for a higher peak, which you can do. Like the settings are all they're all there. The OSC has a pretty deep range of wild and wonderful settings you can mess with. But yes, I had to update the millivolt threshold of what it considered to be the sync signal, and up its tolerance in microseconds of where it thought the sync parts of the picture were, and eventually managed to hone in a thing. I was going and it took me for flipping ages because I made the wrong assumption that I thought the signal was going to be weaker because it's a lower powered device, but and seemingly didn't make improvements there. But yeah, when I went the other direction, I eventually managed to dial it in, and now it's pretty solid. Save that preset to my device, because I went down the rabbit hole of trying to find there's a very small community of people that post their OSSC profiles online, as it turns out, and you can it's a bit of a palaver to get them onto the device, but you can. You can load the profiles onto an SD card and then plug the SD card into your device and then import them onto the OSSC, and then you can use them as your set. So I found a bunch. There's a guy called Firebrand X that's built a whole load of profiles for perfect timing for getting that pristine signal out of devices, and they didn't bloody work for me at all. And then I realized it's of course they're not going to work because he's American. These will be timed to American systems, and so of course they're not power happy. So then I found some stuff from a PAL guy, from a European user, and they didn't also work for me either. So it's crap. I'm gonna have to do this myself. So did. Anyway, that took flipping ages. But
you got it working.
But I believe I have it working. So now I should have a slightly less troublesome experience with PlayStation 1 games, is the hope. That's pretty much me, to be honest. That's all I've kind of really done. That and as I say, firing up a bit of Demolition Race at a test when I was playing that. But I've talked about that before. I've got nothing really to add.
Yeah. Then you're vintage tinkering, and you're diving and divering.
Davering and divering. And it occurs to me, I haven't gone back to Mario 3D World.
Oh yeah,
I was playing that, wasn't I?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so did I, apparently.
It didn't grab your attention then.
Apparently not. Yeah.
Do you need to do that to get to Bowser's Fury?
No, you don't need to. I could just fire up Bowser's Fury and play that as well. But should probably finish what in my usual way. I should probably finish what I start.
Yeah, that's what you typically do.
But it doesn't have achievements, so there's no impetus.
That's what we're gaming for, after all.
I mean, that's what StarFox is going to have, kind of.
Okay, yeah, they're sort of an in-game achievement system.
Yeah. And that's why I'm stuck playing all these goddamn factory games for far too long. When they introduce achievements on their 1.0 release. Shapes 2 hasn't been too much of a trouble so far. There is one of those, this achievement is far too large achievements.
Right, yeah.
Where it's when you get to the end of manufacture mode, you're basically launching new vortex platforms. That's what you're manufacturing. And so you get to the end and it's you've launched your first vortex platform, have an achievement. And then it's here's the achievement for launching 2,000 vortex platforms.
Oh, God. Right.
Have fun making your base 10 times as large to be able to do this in any kind of reasonable space of time.
Yeah, how long do you have to idle for that to happen?
Yes, I mean, you could literally just idle it if you were willing to. Just have your original base that only launches one platform every 30 seconds or whatever, and then just leave it on overnight.
Jeez. Yeah.
Right. Well, I've been playing Wipeout and Tokyo Racer, and looking forward to more
racing.
Forza, I guess. So it seems to be driving. I mean, the big game will be Grand Theft Auto. That's just driving, isn't it?
Well,
basically
50%.
Yeah, 50%.
When is Forza out? Is it a week away? Something like that at this point?
On Xbox and PC, not on. I won't be able to play it, but eventually it'll come out on PS5. But yeah, it's basically, I've seen launch trailers, so it must be near launch. I guess
soon.
Speaking of not exactly related, but I was looking at the Game Pass list again. Because obviously I was still thinking about that with the approach of Forza and my weird Game Pass never cancelled situation. But I looked in there and it's Planet Coaster 2 is on the Game Pass, so I can test that without having to buy it and see if it is as bad as everyone says it is.
Right, yeah, you can make a judgment. See what's
Why
happened
are
to
these
Chief
sequels with what's the City Skylines and everything? It's everything goes wrong when they make the sequel. Why?
I was telling Zach before we went on air, but I found it quite funny that City Skylines. There was a YouTube thumbnail came up that just sort of said City Skylines, how it brought the genre back from the dead and then killed it itself. It's it kind of did do that.
Because you're kind of waiting for the video, which is City Skylines 2, actually good now.
Yeah, I have seen a couple of those. I've seen some of those that are starting to go like that. It's more the new developers are recovering the mess that they've been left.
Right.
So it's starting to become vaguely good-ish. And I can still play that on Game Pass as well, because it's still on there.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It hasn't been dropped off Game Pass or anything yet.
Yeah. Well, that's where we are. Play Dave the Diver, I guess.
Does Proton run on Mac? Is that a thing? Is there versions of Proton that run on Mac?
Because Mac has got Rosetta 2. It probably doesn't work well with that. I don't know. I just want my Steam machine. God damn it! Got to launch that thing so I can play PC games again.
Yeah. I mean, the Steam version of Forza Horizon would at least run on it. I don't know how. I'm not sure it runs I don't know if Horizon 5 runs particularly well on. It doesn't on Steam Deck. It doesn't, but it runs, but not.
I have to wait for PS5 for that game.
Yeah,
but that will come out on PS5 this year. They say so.
Yes, it definitely will.
Well, they won't make nearly enough money if they don't put it out on PS5 at this point.
Yeah, they're not quite. They're not quite back yet. I expect them to bring back the idea of exclusivity when Helix comes out.
But that would be weird if it's a PC and then with the whole Steam machine situation. So we'll see.
But their games then won't be on PlayStation.
Yes, yeah.
Which in theory means maybe.
You have to put shit like Starfield out on PlayStation, don't you? Otherwise, you don't reach big enough install base.
Yeah. Well, yeah. At the moment, anyway, when they haven't got the.
Or Doom or whatever.
Yeah, when they don't have a competitive edge.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But for now, that's all our gamings, except it's not, because we're also playing Skies of Arcadia, apparently.
Yep.
So if you want to watch us do that, you can check out our YouTube channel, Happy Salad, where we're doing an extended Let's Play or a normal length Let's Play.
Oh yeah, a whole gameplay.
Ideally,
A whole gameplay.
ideally as short as possible. Let's play, but
Yeah, exactly.
It's a long ass game.
The fastest route through Skies of Arcadia Legends. The
fastest route that I can remember anyway.
It's more the fastest route that you can tolerate sometimes, because there's definitely elements where it's just like, yeah, I'll go get that thing. And then we're like, oh.
We'll just go and get the thing and make fun of it while we're doing it. Put the things in the holes and fly across the sky, the grand skies.
Yep, the second thing has indeed been put in the hole.
Okay.
Spoilers, yeah.
Yeah, so check that out on YouTube. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with another one of these Saladcasts. So we'll catch you then.
Part 10 will go up this week, of Skies of Arcadia will go up this week. Then we might have a bit of a hiatus the following weekend, because it's going to be a busy weekend. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll have capacity to be available to record. So we might have to take a week off on the video front. Just letting you know. Just warning you.
Okay. I'm sure the listeners will be devastated.
Yeah, well, Zach can fill in with some Enfield or something.
I'm sure I'll be able to shit something out.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, look forward to what Zach shits out. And we'll catch you for Saladcast. Normal time, same bat place, same bat channel. Catch you then. Bye.
Sweet.